bitches. They ain't
Ah! Hey guys. Hey guys. Hey, what do y'all think? I did a little beard thing. Like I did a little. I feel like it really brings out my eyes. It really brings out my lips too. I have these crazy I got lips. Okay. Oftentimes I'll ask a girl and be like, "Are your lips real?" And she'll be like, "Yeah, why do you ask?" And I'm like, "'Cause mine aren't." And she's like, "What? What do you mean yours aren't real?" And I'm like, "Do they look real?" And she's like, "Oh my God." And this whole so I got him. But sometimes when you got a two beard length all around, it really locks him. It tucks him away, you know? I was gonna, fuck my life. Oh, what's up, man? Welcome back to the stream. Look, guys, I'm gonna be honest. They have a lot to talk about today. I have 17 minutes to get my shit together because we have a guest coming on. I have to focus for. The only time he could do it. Booty Watcher, first chat. Congrats, man. Congrats, dude. Welcome. I love to see that shit. So I love to see you in the chat. We have a lot to talk about today. We have a lot to get into today. I actually feel like today is going to be an important stream because, yeah, where's Pipe Bomb 33? I actually think today's going to be an important stream because I have some serious stuff that I want to talk about today. Like, we're going to do the TAO thing and we're going to do some crypto, which is fun because it's been a while. When's the last time we seriously talked about crypto? Live the Life TV with the 10 gifted. Thank you. When is the last time we really were excited to talk about crypto? I really don't know when that was exactly. It's been a while. But then second is guys, I think we're just coming to a head on the war stuff. We're coming to a head on the war stuff where something is going to clash. And I think Friday is kind of our day where these troops are getting there and they are either escalating, Trump's going to taco for real, or Trump's going to taco when it's not going to work. And we're going to get some fucking volatility. That's what we're going to get. We're going to get some fucking volatility is what we're going to get, I think. And so I think we got to get through the next couple, 3-4 days here. Fuck it, we're trading crypto until then. And the whole world is just on hold, man. So we're going to get a VIX 40 day. We're going to get a VIX 100%er in a day. It's coming. I can feel it. So I'm fucking excited to trade. I'm excited to trade. I'm excited to talk about the market. And yeah, we just have a lot to get into today. So we have 15 minutes until this guest comes on. Let's do a roll call. Who's here? Frank, what's good? Tentacle Poppy, what's good? Vidler, what's here? DMX Dank, what's here? Mofu33. What's here? Alex, Viblet, Live the Life TV, Kevin, Teo, Caleb, Cal, Jackson, Ray, Rockefeller, Pipe Bomb, wow, Narlo, Dylan, what's good? Russ, Kira, Wavy, Tom Brady, Joey, what's good? Stone, what's good? Booty Watcher, Polka, Art Mommy, Lux, First Chatter, Jack Wyan, what's good? Rectal, what's good? Mickley, what's good? Hidden Character, what's good? Tentacle, First Chatter, Muhammad Official, welcome. Seth, what's good? What's good? What's good? And one, what's good? What's good? Caleb, what's good? Henry, what's good? Molu, what's good? Seth, what's good? Yeah, where are the first shoutouts coming from? Y'all coming from YouTube or what? By the way, I got a chair that's supposed to deliver today. I cannot fucking wait. Dude, I went to physical therapy yesterday, chat, and they told me I ran war quiz. Yeah, bro, they put together I have a Kahoot. I feel like I'm back in middle school, bro. I have a Kahoot for the end of the stream, like a Middle East like quiz. And they won't let me look at it. It's kind of whack. My handlers are like really locked. Here's the problem is like, you know, it's a little bit of a tough spot by not letting me see the answers beforehand, because on one hand, it's more fun if I haven't seen the answers, right? Like it's more fun. It's honest. It's like, it's raw, if you will. But on the other hand is, I mean, if I'm just bricking questions, it's a bad look. Objectively, it's a bad, if I'm just out here bricking questions, it's a bad look. There's no other way to cut it. It's a bad look if I'm doing it. So that's where we're at. So yeah, we have a Kahoot with the chat. If someone says some fucked up shit as their name, you're getting banned. You're getting banned out of the Telegram as well. Hey, before we start, can I ask you guys a question? I wasn't going to do this, but I want to ask you a personal question. Does anybody watch, like, doom scroll the AI fruit videos on Reels or no? Do you know what I'm talking about? The AI fruit videos where it's, like, 2 strawberry and she, like, has, like, a banana kid and it's, like, a whole, like, what? How am I a strawberry and you're a strawberry and he's a banana? And she's like, honey, I won $1 million. And it's, like, the whole... Do you know what I'm talking about? And he's like, what? Do you know what I'm talking about? I don't even know if I could play one because some of them are kind of like... I don't even think I could play one. They call it like Fruit Island or whatever. DNAP, can you link me one? Just not the gangbang. Yeah, some of them get really gnarly. But dude, I'm not gonna lie. I doom scroll these videos. Like I watch a lot of them. And okay, I don't watch a lot of them, but like people, you guys know what I'm talking about. You guys absolutely know what I'm talking about. You guys know some of them get really nasty and dark. Like it's like fucked up. Like it's actually fucked up. You guys know what I'm talking about. These videos, don't act like you don't. And I have been doom scrolling them a little bit, but I just don't even realize I'm watching them. Like I'll watch 4. I'll like send one to DNAP. And then I saw Udi post one today, and it has like 5 million followers on TikTok in like 2 weeks. AI Fruit Love Island. And, you know, I was just thinking about it. The thing about the AI slop is while I reject it, oh God, is this actually one? Can I actually watch this? Oh my God, he linked one. Is it bad? Fuck my life. Wait, let me see. Don't shop at Dove. Yeah, I sent this to Daniel. I'm fucking geeked. I'm really gonna play this. Okay, I'll play it. Fine. I'll play one. By the way, if the TAO guest is watching, I'm sorry. Just don't pay attention for like 30 seconds.
Hi, Pupita.
Hi, Spermino. Hi, Periota.
Where do you know Pupita from? What is your secret relationship with her?
I don't know her. It was nothing, I swear. Pupita, you were amazing today in that red dress.
And you were so handsome today, Spermino. But Periota looks so annoyed.
Spermino! What are you doing out on the balcony?
Arino, I'm leaving. My shift is over.
Wait, Periota, I need you for a small...
All right. Dude, these videos... I'm sorry. I get them on my feed. And the reason I'm showing it to you is because we're in the content biz. I'm not sure where that was going, by the way, so I had to cut it. We're in the content biz, and these accounts are running up like 5, 7, 10 million followers fast. And the thing about it is, like, Nikita Beer always uses this metric where he's like, he calls it non-regret, like unregret. He always sees like hours you spend on Twitter that you don't regret. And I don't regret watching these videos when I watch them. Like, I don't know what to say. They're unreal. So I'm just calling that out. That is what it is. But all right, look, market. I'm going to skip all my intro stuff. We have a lot to talk about. There's a lot going on. Markets are moving. Things are hot. We'll do a lot of like the war updates and stuff later. We're about to get market close right now. So here's where we're at. SPY's down 0.35% on the day, which I don't even know anymore. we just had a flurry of headlines on war stuff, Trump speaking positively on Iran situation. I just I don't even know anymore how to gauge exactly what is what. Russell's up a little bit, Q's down like 1%. Software ETF is down 4%. 4%. Like that's software IGV down 4% is pretty gnarly. Nasdaq down 1, Dow just never breached 50K again. Crude is up 4 on the day, and the backdated ones are up a lot. Crypto, Hyperliquid's at like 40. It's up 7% of the day. Looks good. Silver 0.4. Gold is red again. Pretty gnarly. Sol, not great. Down 3. Dollars up a little. Zcash down 1.2. ETH down like 2. Bitcoin down 2.5. TAO is up 12% today. Kind of a crazy move on TAO. And so the only time this guest could come on is right now. So we're basically just going to start with TAO. But I don't know. I came on stream yesterday and I just said, I know nothing about it. I still really know nothing about it. But when is the last time I've seen a crypto project have somebody of, importance in the mainstream world that has capital and powerful connections really posting about it like it's the greatest thing to ever happen? And the answer was, I don't know, probably Zcash. And so I ripped along. I told you guys I was long. I'm like 266, 285, and a little bit of 300. Added on the way up just to see how it would trade. And look, I still don't even really understand what it is. I'm going to be honest. I probably spent it. They objectively, we need a bull. It needs a bull poster, like a good one, because it's a mess. The narrative. I watched a bunch of videos last night. I have like a decentralized AI. That's and Jason Calacanis is sort of what I was trading on. So I'm not going to be in this trade for a long time, but it looked like it was ready to pull in a fucking ripper, and so I longed it, and then we're obviously going to cover it today. Because it's up 12% on like 3 days in a row. It's it's a bright spot in crypto right now. Really, it's good to see because I've kind of missed talking about crypto. Do you guys miss talking about crypto? I miss talking about crypto. I actually missed talking about crypto, and so it's good to see that. Bitcoin's on 2% and some change. The thing about it is like you just can't force it. You can't force it. And then individual names. I mean, what got crushed? What got crushed on software? Adobe's on 3.5. Salesforce down 6.5. Oracle down 4.5. Google's down 4. Amazon, wow, kind of nasty day today. Kind of a nasty day today. What about Circle's down 20%, which we're going to talk about. I believe we got some new information about the Clarity Act. That's really good for banks, really bad for stablecoins as it relates to yield. And Circle just fell off a cliff. Look at this chart. It's kind of a nasty chart. Look at this. Not great. Figma down 6. Just disgusting. Not great. Hood down 5. Worst performing stock in the S&P. Just disgusting. Zeta's down 8. Yeah. A lot of blood. What's Palantir? Only on 4. Not that bad. And so that's basically where we are at on the market today. So we're going to go a little backwards on stream. We're going to start with TAO, and then we're going to do war. I'm going to spend a lot of time talking about... Guys, the Trump manipulation idea is going global, okay? There's a 5-minute Nick Fuentes clip ranting and raving, and I know that he rants and raves about everything that Trump does, but look, I'm not a watcher of the Nick Fuentes stream, but I don't hear him talk about markets ever. I never hear him talk about markets. And so when he is screaming about manipulation in the market, and Citrini is screaming about manipulation in the market, and the Financial Times is screaming about manipulation in the market, and Peter Brandt from Market Wizards is screaming about manipulation in the market, and Iran is screaming about manipulation in the market. It's it's pretty in your face right now. It's pretty in your face right now. And so I think rather than fight it, here's the Fuentes clip we're going to watch. I don't know if I can actually watch it.
Everybody.
Fuentes asked the question that's on every quote, if Trump is really manipulating the market, this is the most corrupt administration in history. So I'll figure out, we'll get there when we get there. So we're going to talk about that. We have a lot of crypto. We have a lot of AI. There was a peptides debate yesterday with Martin Shkreli. And then I think this war taco situation is just coming to like a climax. You could kind of feel it, at least for the markets. I can only really speak on the markets. It's sort of coming to a climax, and I have some takes on where I think it's going to get there and when I think it's going to get there, but I think it's going to be the end of this week. I really do. Trader 4, what's good, bro? It's been a minute. I think it's going to be the end of this week. So we're going to go backwards a little bit. We're going to have a guest on in a few minutes, and then we'll probably work backwards. So I guess to just lock in and get ready for this interview. Guys, I haven't seen... What is this? Like, what's going on here with Jason Calacanis? What is he doing exactly? When is the last time you've seen this? I don't even know when I've seen it. I don't exactly understand what the game plan is here. He obviously has a lot.
There's something there that could compound to, a $500 billion market cap for, TAO, which would be roughly, if it's trading at 2 or 3 billion, let's put it at 2.5 billion. That's a 200x from here. That's my base case. Is I think we could be sitting here and TAO in 5 to 10 years could go 200x. Now you say like, well, how does JCal even come up with that number? Just historically, I've seen things of value. When I see
Oh, that was good closure. How does JCal come up with that number? He says, well, historically, I've seen things of value.
we could be sitting here and TAO in 5 to 10 years could go 200x. Now you say like, well, how does JCal even come up with that number? Just historically, I've seen things of value. When I see there's some.
Look, you never want to be the guy. You never want to be the guy that's responsible for the thing going up. You don't want to be the guy ever. You don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be it. You don't want to be the guy. But somebody is always the guy. And Jason Calacanis has decided he's going to be the guy for TAO. And it's good enough for me. It was good enough for me. It was good enough for me. It was good enough for me. That's enough for me. The last person that was the guy, it's good enough for me. The last time there was a guy, it was Naval. It was Naval with Zcash. But the problem with being, also let me text this guy real quick and make sure he's coming in, because I really just want to talk to him. I don't want to like waste too much time. Let me know. The last time there was a guy, it was Naval, and then it was Mert. It was Mert with Zcash, and they went. Honestly, Zcash doesn't happen without Mert. The way that it curved. I mean, look at this chart real quick, just for scale of how ridiculous. By the way, I still really like Zcash. I think Zcash is a great coin. Look at this fractal here, just for like context of how ridiculous this pump was. We can go like right where it started, take it down a little bit to top wick. This thing pumped 1,300% on honestly infinite size. I mean, it pumped 1,300%. Bro's saying Mert's responsible for billions of dollars in volume. Man, yeah, I am actually. Not exclusively, but he contributed a lot to Zcash. I mean, he did, bro. The thing about crypto that's so unique from any other asset class is outside of Bitcoin, what's the market cap of crypto? A couple T's? A couple trillion? I don't even know. 2, 1.5, 3, I don't even know. A couple trillion dollars. That's basically decided, like the narrative is driven by like a couple hundred people, really. There's not, it's like so, because when you don't have earnings reports and all these fundamentals and all these revenue to fall back on, the whole thing just becomes a narrative game. And so, yeah, like Mert definitely was responsible for a outsized amount of market cap to flow into Zcash for sure. Now, Winklevoss twins started a DAT, bought 5%, and that helped. You have an infinite swap buying 5% during a gargantuan pump. Like, yeah, that helps. Naval was buying who knows how much. A lot of these guys were fucking hammering it, obviously. But I don't know, you know how it goes with crypto. It just like when things get it's just pure momentum memetics. And so when things like really get going, they get going. So that's my take on Zcash. But all right, this guy's gonna be here and damn, is it really pumping right now? Jesus. So here's the deal with the TAO eco is like I'll just save a lot of it because I want to just learn about it. But it gets confusing because everyone starts shilling these subnets, and that's where I'm just like, all right, too much. Nobody wants to buy the main runner. There's like subnets, 128 subnets. It's all over the place. There's a lot of it. It muddies the equation for me. So we're going to learn about it. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to get up really quick just so I can focus during this interview. I know it was a quick one. I'll be back in 2 minutes. No, that's a joke. I'll be back in 30 seconds. When I'm back, this guy's going to be on, who I was told from a bunch of people is who I need to have on to talk about TAO. And then we're going to work backwards on the stream. And it's going to be a good one. I'll be back in just a second. BRB. Now, so I'll give him a second to get ready. I was told this is the guy I need to talk to about TAO. He's literally the founder of the greatest protocol in crypto alongside TAO. Is he the founder? No, he's not the founder. Is he? Is he a founder? No, I don't think so. Is he? I don't think he is. Oh. Okay, bet. Bet. All right, let's fucking go. This is gonna be sick then. He's gonna be in 30 minutes. 30 seconds, I mean. And yeah, I think we got the best guest to talk about it. So, by the way, I'm just gonna say that while we haven't really been talking about crypto over the last, I don't know, couple weeks, couple months, this new little basket of alts that are catching bids, TAO is catching a bid, Layer 0 is catching a bid, Hype is obviously catching a bid, Zcash doesn't look great, but is continuing to catch a bid, VVV is catching a bid. There's like a few bright spots to be excited about. Honestly, there is. Like, there's enough bright spots to sit here and feel like, all right, crypto outside of Bitcoin feels pretty fucking decent right now. How do we miss? All right, this is coming on right here. Taoism. Trust me. The only thing about crypto and Bittensor is the fact that it's on chain. After you see Kant speaking about it, you'll not only be buying TAO, you'll be buying subnets. We'll see, man. Sorry for the quick, the little pause here, but I just want to let him get in and get ready, and we're good. We're kind of on hold until he's ready. I'm still feeling like it's a bull trap. Max pay when Bitcoin hits 60K. Yeah, the thing about it is we could do the leg down to 60. We could do the leg down to 55. But I still sit in the camp that RR on the long side of crypto at this point is just so much better than it is on the short side. And so I've been pretty doomer about crypto the last couple months, but I choose to be an optimist here. And all right, we got Const right now to talk about TAO. If you have any questions, topics, things that are confusing, it's a little bit of a complex one. If there's anything you're confused about, if there's anything you want to know, please ask in the chat. The only way to ask in the chat is, in fact, twitch.tv/threadguy. And if you're on YouTube, Twitter, whatever, that's the place that I read the chat. And let's fucking get it. I bought the top on gold from Peter Schiff shilling gold on TG Stream. Peter Schiff actually shilled the gold at the bottom of gold, the top of BTC, by the way. All right, let's get it. 1 second, sir. Let me get you full cam. And let me just adjust you. And boom! Mr. Const, welcome to the stream, man. How are you?
Very well. Nice to have you here.
Yeah, dude, I appreciate you jumping on 1 second notice. I know you're in a little bit of a weird time zone, but dude, my whole feed is talking about TAO. I'm streaming. Everyone's like, what is TAO? Please bring somebody on. And so I think we got the best person we could to come on and talk about it on no notice. So I appreciate you being here. Why don't you start? Give us a quick intro, who you are, what you do. Give me like a little bit of lore to set the stage.
Well, I was the first developer to work on Bittensor. I helped write the white paper. I spent many years of my life building Bittensor. I've been building it since 2015, which is a really long time.
2015, really?
Yeah, actually, like straight out of university. And I had the idea of the neural internet and how to mine intelligence way back then, because I was actually, I was doing my degree in computer science and mathematics, studying artificial intelligence. This was before AI was a thing. Really.
Okay.
Like it was just the beginnings of deep learning.
And why were you doing this? Like, how did that come across your desk?
Well, it's kind of an interesting story. I graduated. I was really interested in something called neuromorphic computing.
Okay.
Neuromorphic computing is as the name sounds, like the brain, neuromorphic. And I ended up working for this absolute genius named Alex Nugent, who started the DARPA Synapse program.
Okay.
It's a program out of DARPA where they were trying to build the brain chip. You guys have heard of Extropic, right? Like Extropic.
Okay, yeah, it's familiar, but I couldn't tell you what it is.
Yeah. Well, he's like trying to make a thermodynamic computer, a computer that you just compute with electricity.
Whoa.
And the idea is that like the modern machines, the CPU, there's this bottleneck between where we store information and where we compute on it. So when you want to do, let's say, a multiplication on your computer, you have to take information out of memory, put it into the CPU, and then do a multiplication and put it back. And,
that's
not.
It's Beth. It's Beth. Jesus.
Beth.
Okay, yeah, I know
Beth.
Beth. Hell yeah. Okay. I thought it was familiar.
This is I'm basically, pumping Beth's company right now.
Cool.
It's a exactly an idea. And basically the idea is that like this is the way the computers work right now, and they're very slow because that's not natural. It's actually completely unnatural for there to be a separation between the memory, the state, and the thing that operates in the state. And the brain is the best example of that, right? Your neurons actually encode the structure of the neurons, like the connectivity of your neurons is how you compute, and it's also where the state of the neural network is at the same time. And so when you're like, let's say, thinking, all of your neurons are firing at the speed at which neurons fire, which is very fast, and all multiple trillions of them can fire at the same time, although that would probably kill you. But there's no separation. So there's von Neumann bottleneck, and basically I was working on that back in 2015. So it's really interesting to see Extropic blow up because it's like actually a very old idea to build these neuromorphic chips. And in fact, Alan Turing, he was the first to propose this back in the 1940s. He envisioned this computer that was a neural computer where there was neurons and all these things, and he was one of the first to think of in this direction of making computers like the brain for the purpose of artificial intelligence. I was working on that after I graduated because it was pretty obvious that artificial intelligence was constrained. The bottleneck was compute. And so if we could make things faster, and like that's what NVIDIA does, right? Like that's why NVIDIA is worth so much money, because they can make it faster, and they're the fastest in the world, and they have these $200,000 machines, GPUs that people pay a hell of a lot of money for just to get speed. Because if you can run more iterations, you can go faster, right? You can try more things. And anyway, so I was working for this guy, and he was a Bitcoiner.
Okay.
He was a really interesting, genius guy that worked with DARPA and made this synapse program to build these chips, and funded IBM and funded Intel and funded Qualcomm to build this. And he basically saw them build it and was so depressed by their speed at developing this chip that he went to start his own company and hired me as his first engineer. That's how I got into Bitcoin, because he was this cypherpunk with 10,000 Bitcoin buried in his backyard kind of guy, and he paid me. And really, really awesome guy. And he taught me about real Bitcoin, not pumping out Bitcoin. He taught me about real Bitcoin. What is this about? What are the ideals behind it? And as a consequence, I got involved with crypto, and I was a machine learning engineer. And I was fascinated by, how is it possible that we were able to create this supercomputer in space, in cyberspace, that was so powerful. And I was studying about how to compute with electricity, and there I was watching this economic experiment, this computational network that is run by a form of electricity. Basically, that form of electricity is money. It's a mining network. Two and two together, and I was like, okay, we can compute with money. We can compute with electricity. An abstract form of electricity is money, and here's this example in playing out in real time in front of us. This supercomputer that is, a gargantuan and larger than I think that the idea is that Bitcoin is so big that even governments can't outcompete it in terms of hashing power, right? So how did it achieve such an aim that even the United States government can't attack it? There's not that many things that can say that, right? Everything's underneath the table, right? Like OpenAI and Anthropic, they're all funded by the American military. There's very few companies.
Yeah, this is crazy. Yeah.
That are like, I'm going to be at the nation state level of computing. And so I was like, wow, okay, we can do computation with electricity, we can do it with money. What exactly is that principle that allowed Bitcoin to be so fucking efficient? That there's these super geniuses out there. I've met the guy from Ants, the guy who made Antminer. He's this Chinese guy.
I don't know what that is. Am I gonna get flamed for this?
Yeah. Well, this is old school crypto, right? It's not people to know about this, but there's the hash wars that happened, and it attracted these super geniuses that basically won in the hashing game, right? And they won by being, they didn't have PhDs. They were not qualified for the job of being the largest compute providers
And so
in
how do
this
they win?
network.
How do they win?
Gosh, that's I think about this a lot. Like how do you win in a game that is perfectly competitive, right? You're a
Whoa.
superhuman.
Perfectly competitive.
You're like a superhuman player. You're a psychopath. Yeah, I don't know. You're like Cristiano Ronaldo of mining Bitcoin.
Like at what
is
though?
that?
Like what? Like Ronaldo's like 6'4", 40-inch vertical. Like what is your
Yeah,
intangible?
aesthetically, yeah, exactly. It's tangible. You can look at Cristiano Ronaldo and be like, well,
Yeah.
handsome,
Well,
hard, great
yeah. I meant soccer skills, but that works too.
soccer skills, physical. But someone, like this guy who made that took over, Bitcoin, and in many cases, many people that have taken over Bittensor in similar fashions is like they're just hard capitalists. Like they know how to procure and organize matter really, really well.
Yeah.
Um,
Organized matter.
the
Well.
Yeah, and apply it and so anyways, like so Bitcoin is run by all of these people. Like you may know people that mine Bitcoin, or like used to when it was a hobby, but now it's this industrial process. Like it they seek out access to latent energy reserves in Paraguay, and because you're capable of moving across this border to get electricity price slightly cheaper. You go over here, and so like that's all enabled by the permissionlessness and the global 24 hours, 24/7 hyper competitive
Yes. Yeah.
monetary that is Bitcoin.
Okay.
And we were like, hey, let's take that to everything. And that's basically Bittensor.
Okay. So then, first of all, that was incredible. I've never heard you talk, so I don't know. I saw you tweet, and I was like, fuck it, let's get this guy on. I'd never really heard you like speak, so that was incredible. Let's start here and then we'll like work backwards. Can you give me the 5th grader explanation of what is Bittensor and why is it so special? And then we could dive into like the nitty gritty.
Cool. Yeah.
I know. Sorry. I know.
Like I'm 5 and I'm like, oh dude,
I
I
don't know.
don't know.
I'm like 24 and like a little bit slow. How about that?
I'll just explain it to like your audience, I suppose. I'll try to explain it in a different way that I've explained it, using like modern terminology. Like you're following what's happening with like Karpathy's auto research, right?
Okay.
Like what's happening
Like vaguely high level. You could break it down if you wanted to first.
Yeah, okay. So like basically machine intelligence, like AI, used to be really complex. It used to be that people would sit down and they would try to write down the rules of like, let's say chess, okay? And then they just gave up on that idea. And there's a famous essay called The Bitter Lesson where they're like, let's just throw compute at it.
Bitter lesson.
Which means let's just try everything.
Just force it to fucking figure it out, yeah.
Whenever we find something that kind of works, we just do that a little bit more.
Okay.
And that's why the OpenAI and Anthropic and Elon Musk are spending billions of dollars on compute so they can run more experimentation. But like all of AI is basically just that loop. It's just try, did it work? Adapt ourselves. Try, did it work? Adapt ourselves.
Yeah.
And do that 100 trillion times per second. And eventually, you create, that's like the fundamental learning process of nature and AI. So, okay, why is that a relevant starting place? Because, what do we see when you start doing that process, you recognize that the core problem is just defining the thing against which you use to validate performance. So you say like, okay, hey, like we did a bunch of things. How good were we? That's the validation, right?
Yeah.
And then we adapt, right?
It.
So then we push more into the ways that we're good, right? So Bittensor is basically that process, okay? Do a bunch of stuff, validate it, and then feed the thing that did well more money. So instead of using the computational substrate, which is in artificial intelligence, like say like genetic algorithms, you would mutate the genetic algorithms the genetic codes that are better at solving your problem. we would give them more money. And that's Bittensor is basically a machine for creating this like cycle of things try to solve the problem, we evaluate it, and then we pay them, and we just run this loop. And that's what Bitcoin is. Bitcoin is basically people try to mine Bitcoin, and if they can mine it faster, they get paid money. Okay. So we took that idea and we've abstracted it. Okay, like what if we want to do that for everything? What if we want to build like a mining network for storing files, procuring compute, but also like training machine learning models. And this is where it gets interesting because those last two have been done in crypto, right? Like
Okay.
you Golem, Filecoin,
Okay.
right? EXEC, IONet, they're all basically the same idea, right? Like let's build mining for GPUs, let's build mining for storage, okay? But they only do one thing. They only do one thing.
Yeah.
And so because we focused on that, basically that loop, that recursive loop of like incentive loop, you could call it, or like adaptation loop that's in AI, we basically abstracted that, the monetary adaptation loop, and we said, hey, go nuts. Let's go build a bunch of these things. We have this abstract version of it, so we can build all of those things at once. And like we made enemies with the render community because I tweeted randomly. I was just like, render's just a subnet on Bittensor. Like, Filecoin's just a subnet on Bittensor, and we made a lot of enemies because, but it was true, right? It's actually true that all of those things are just instances of the same thing, which is a monetary feedback loop where you have people do things, you measure their performance, and you pay them money. And you can design that game in a whole bunch of different ways, right? We tried to build a framework for representing them based on basically machine learning. Like we used basically weight matrices and softmax and all these things, but it doesn't really matter. The point is that we built this abstract tooling called human consensus that allows us to do that in a trustless manner, right? So how do we build a mining network for anything in an abstract sense that can be trustworthy? So we can do it and that's really difficult because Bitcoin's very easy, actually. Okay. Bitcoin is the transaction is either cryptographically verifiable or not, right? So the truth is
it's just
obvious.
1 or 2, right? 0, 1.
Binary outcome. But when you get into like, let's build a mining network for, like what the subnet that I'm building right now is like, how do you make it so that all those really smart people that are mining Bitcoin are actually going to go out there and try to train machine learning models? And the performance of a machine learning model is actually really, really difficult to measure. It takes a lot of time, and there's a lot of randomness and so in the evaluation of a machine learning model. But this is why we have benchmarks in AI. We have benchmarks, but those benchmarks are standard, right? So we can basically take a benchmark and turn that into an incentive mechanism and have people train machine learning models that are good at the benchmark. And so Bittensor is basically that process at the core level. That's what a subnet is. A subnet is this monetary feedback loop that we can apply to different things. And so the examples on Bittensor are like, let's apply it to training machine learning models across the web, where, hey, you run a node and we're going to measure how many flops of training you've done. That was what Templar did.
Okay.
Follow me. I'm kind of
no, I know. Please keep going. Then I'll try to like re-bring it. Yeah, keep going. Yeah.
So, but we can also do like, let's say, measure the speed at which someone can inference a machine learning model. Like that's very valuable for like when you talk to OpenRouter or Shoots, which is the subnet, or like OpenAI. It is a really difficult problem of like, how do you do that really fast? How do you take an input and you give an output really quickly? And that's called inferencing. So we can say, hey, we'll pay you for the speed at which you can inference, or like the bandwidth that you can inference. And then we can turn that into a product, because now we have the people out there not just going to secure the network in Bitcoin, which is useless, right? In some sense, it's useless. But we can have you doing this actual monetary problem of
why is it useless?
Why is Bitcoin mining useless?
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't produce anything.
Got it.
It's not useless. I'm gonna get shit with the talk.
I wanted the clip. I mean, you just gave me the god intro. I had to follow up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not useless because obviously it secures the Bitcoin network, right? So like it has infinite values, perhaps, but there are other things in life that have more tangible value, like storing files. Like how many files can you store? And these are kind of like not very interesting ones in some sense, but like they get more interesting when you apply this idea of feedback loops to things that are much more abstract.
Okay.
So, example, don't provide me compute because that's obvious, and then basically anybody can provide me compute, but I want you to develop software that works well against a well-defined benchmark, right? Like, and the example of that was Ridges or platform on Bittensor, which they basically build coding agents. And those coding agents are evaluated based on how well they can solve coding problems.
Got it.
And so we can not only mine like raw commodities like GPU speed or like how many flops you can provide, but we can also mine, taking this primitive and apply it to actual software development. Now, this is where I started from auto research, right? Because I said, hey, this is the target of the day, Carpathy, genius. He applied auto research. The agents that just change code, and then we measure how well the agents did on changing the code, and we then just loop on that. And eventually you have this like process of annealing the software towards a better and better version of itself. And so we basically do that for all these problems.
Okay.
One of them is coding challenges, and that's also basically just the mining of software. So that, well, let me just finish the last part. So that's like the subnet level,
Okay.
and then Bittensor is a market of those subnets. And yeah, okay, maybe you want to.
So okay. So the way my brain works usually is I like bring it all in for like 3 days, and then at the end I spit out a finished product. But kind of how I'm understanding Bittensor right now is it's basically like the TAO emissions are like a reward mechanism of such to incentivize improvement or success across like defined metrics. So you would say like, I want this thing to be done very well, or like this parameter to be met, and you're like rewarding a subnet, I believe, as I understand, to like create and manifest said thing into the world well. And the better you do, the more emissions you're receiving. Like, is that correct? So you just have like 128 subnets that are all being incentivized with monetary TAO to like build X, Y, Z, A, B, C.
More or less. Like,
Okay.
So let's go through like the stages of Bittensor so people can understand.
Cool.
Through its history, because it actually has changed a lot, right? We didn't do a pre-mine, right? So and that was really good because it gave us a lot of time to develop this technology. So like back in 2021 when we launched, there was just one subnet on Bittensor.
Wow.
And it was broke, and it didn't work very well, and it didn't produce anything, and we didn't really understand this art. We didn't really understand what we were dealing with. And it failed, and it got hacked.
And so what was it? And why did they create subnet number 1? Like what?
We created it.
Okay, you created it. And what did
basically
it do?
The original version of subnet 1 was it's actually quite brilliant. And today maybe we could do it properly.
Run it
back then far out. But basically it's a cool idea. Basically the miners in the network produced what's called an embedding, which is basically just a tensor. A tensor is a long list of numbers that represent text, or basically anything, but in this case text, in a numerical form, where that numerical form is basically in the center of a neural network. Like when you put text in, you get text out, but in the center it's all numeric, and that's called an embedding. Basically it passes embeddings through the layers of the network. And so we said, hey, let's build a mining network. Let's build a Bitcoin mining network for information theoretic value, which is a mouthful. Basically, how valuable is the vector that you can produce if we were trying to solve problems in language? And this was like before ChatGPT.
Yeah.
This is like for the AI people in the crowd, like this is like BERT and like Roberta, like old school transformer stuff. And so it turns out that like that's possible to do, but we were just really not prepared to do it properly. So we switched to something else. We built another network that was based on you query the miners, and they would answer, and then we would basically use another machine learning model to evaluate how good the answers were from the models.
Can I ask you
That's
a
called
quick intermission? Is like, what benefit would subnet number 1 being good contribute to Bittensor,
yeah.
the top
So
layer?
if I were doing the industry of AI moves so fast,
Yeah.
right? And one of the benefits is that because we have this abstracted layer, we didn't build into the substrate of the chain exactly what we were doing. We
Cool.
just could then switch out to another thing. Thank God, because if we built it in Rust in substrate, we would have been fucked because
Yeah.
you can't
Yeah.
fast. So at the time we were working on basically these embeddings. Now, if I were to do it now,
Yeah.
I would frame it as doing basically like context embeddings, or like basically take. It's still actually a field right now that's useful. Like if you look at Pinecone and other industries, like the OpenAI serves embeddings, right? If you want to like if you want to take your whole code base and then put it inside of what's called an embedding database, which you can then like search really quickly with LLMs, you embed the data, and that means you send the data and then you get these embeddings, and these embeddings they encode like dense information about what was given to you, but it's also a compression. It's basically a numerical compression. Okay. So if I were to take that subnet and rebuild it, which I'm not doing, so I guess I wouldn't, I would still train it to be producing embeddings very quickly and incredibly dense in information, because that would be valuable to things like Pinecone if you're making an embedding database. The way that Bittensor subnets work is that basically in order to gain access to these subnets, you need to have a fair amount of stake in them, right? And so that's what creates the economic game. So like the token represents access in some sense, in some way. The people that have the token are the people that can gatekeep the network, and therefore they can monetize it. And so if you were to try to build a subnet around that, which maybe somebody will do, you would then build like a website and an API service for people to query, try to make money. And so now that subnet would have its own token that is paired with a Uniswap pool, TAO.
Got it.
And that's what creates the demand side for TAO, basically. It's like a flywheel.
Got it. And so the main benefit of the success of subnets is paired with TAO, more demand on TAO price, more value to compete for future admissions. And so every subnet, there's 128. Is that true? I make that up?
There's 128.
Okay. Every subnet like exists in a silo and is doing its own thing, completely unrelated to what anyone else is doing by default. And everyone is basically competing for, in theory, increasingly valuable TAO emissions.
Yes. And okay. And so
is there any like pairing process where everyone's contributing to like Bittensor, the like top hub, or is it strictly like a financial faucet?
This like integration aspect is really interesting. We didn't build the mechanism to require integration. So like I build this embedding thing, like, does it help this guy?
Yeah.
It seems to be epiphenomenal that people, as in like it's a consequence of the system itself, like the ecology of Bittensor, that they work together. So like everyone builds off Shoots because Shoots provides a really good service for both producing mechanisms, in the sense that like if somebody solved this really hard problem of doing verification of this thing, I can now use that as a subunit for my thing that does verification of something at a higher level. And then also he's my friend because he's also, backed by TAO, and we're in the same ecosystem. So, we're all bedfellows here. And so like that tends to work out in practice, but there's no actual mechanism in Bittensor that enforces that. So we had one subnet, then we had two subnets, then we had three subnets. They were all built by the foundation. Then we opened it up so other people could build the foundation, the subnets, and then we tried to basically manage it with like an oligarchy and people voting. And this didn't work. And we always knew it wasn't going to work. And about 2 months into doing that, we were like, let's switch to DTAO.
Okay.
And dynamic TAO was basically the idea that what we could do is build an actual market for the tokens and use market dynamics. Like basically, people are going to buy the subnets that make sense, make economic sense, and they're not going to buy the subnets that don't make economic sense. And they're going to buy the subnets that are aligned with Bittensor's future because they hold TAO and they have to buy it with TAO and things like this. And so we took all the subnets, we gave them a token, and then we paired them with TAO. And then we have a mechanism basically to measure how much TAO is going in and out of the pool, and that incentivizes the subnet not only to get more buy pressure, but also ultimately to constrain TAO. So we're minting 7,200 TAO per day, but it's all being put into the subnets that are the most constraining of TAO. So like if your subnet can't keep it together, it's just leaking TAO, ultimately you don't get any more emission. And so we have this sort of like structure in Bittensor where the system itself directs the emission of the inflation of TAO itself to the places where they can constrain it, where they can keep it locked in the pools.
Got it. And so what happens, like we're still pretty early in the, we're like a third of the way through emissions less, of like, where are we, third?
Like 11 million
Cool.
TAO, so we're
cool.
just over half.
What happens at the end? What happens at 20 and a half, when we get close to 21? Like, how is the network of TAO evolve when we basically chase the final form of emissions?
Yeah, it's a good question, and there's a similar question about Bitcoin. Like, so how does Bitcoin?
I was gonna ask you that one next. Honestly, what do you? Yeah.
I have always believed that like you're building basically a nation state with a cryptocurrency, and the pump and dump schemes don't make any sense for crypto because they don't have any time. Like this is why you shouldn't sell out to VCs huge supplies. This is why you shouldn't go and try to get market makers. This is why you don't need to get on exchanges, because you should be in this for the long game, because it's going to take time to develop the ecosystem, to develop the mechanisms, to develop like the liquidity, to develop the miners. Like these things basically are organic, and they need to grow. And so like Bitcoin, I'll answer that second question first. It's like, so Bitcoin's idea is like, hey, after 104 years, that's how long they're thinking, right? This technology, which we're pretty sure we made perfectly, is going to be foundational to the world economy.
Yes.
And it's going maintaining control over it plus transaction fees. And I actually think that the control over it is actually going to be more important than the transaction fees in the future of Bitcoin. Will be worth a lot of money, enough to sustain it past the emission schedule. So the idea is that basically Bitcoin's not even there yet. Bitcoin is just being birthed. Like it's only like 15 years into being birthed.
Yeah.
Really, it's good. It's only really truly galloping as it is after 104 years or something like that. It's kind of the same thing with Bittensor. Obviously, we want to go a bit faster. The first question is with TAO. So like, once TAO emission goes to zero, the subnets should be incubated, because that's not going to happen for 50 years, 60 years, right? Like a long time, maybe 104 years as well. So it's going to, at that point, the subnets have functioning markets. They're fully paired with TAO, right? Like it's the United States dollar of these crypto projects, right? So everyone, the network center, everyone's largest liquidity pools are with TAO, and so like basically TAO survives. But the question is, okay, what happens with the subnet tokens, because they also have 21 million, and so but they need to pay their miners. And like the idea is that like if you get it to that point, which is not very many are going to get to that point. But it's like after decades, or not even decades, really, I could see this happening with some subnets already. Potentially, it will happen in much more in the next 10 years. Is you start to actually not need the subsidy, but you pay the miners directly in the token, because people like right now they're on a subsidy.
Yep.
Is it like
yeah.
printing to pay just keep them alive, but eventually like the system is mature, and in the same way that Bitcoin is mature, and you pay them in the token to continue doing what they're doing. So people that want to access need to pay, right? And so there's no subsidy anymore, and like that's basically how how I see Bitcoin working, and also how I think Bittensor will work as well.
You're a full-fledged Bitcoin maxi as well, huh? I love that.
I mean, yeah, like
I love that.
How can you not?
How can you not?
It's so disrespectful. I like, honestly, I don't know, maybe I just like raised differently, but it's like walking into your grandfather's house and fucking clocking him in the face or something and being like, I'm faster than you, grandpa. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, you piece of shit, like, you loser. I went through World War II for you. You know what I mean? Like, and I hold the wisdom of the whole industry, and not only that, but like, Ethereum can be captured. Ethereum has a founder. You know, he's a guy. He's got ideas. He likes Asian women. You know, he's like they can take him out, but they'll never take out Bitcoin. It was built to be immutable, and as a consequence, and I think people take this for granted, governments are just forced to deal with it. There was experiments with Bitcoin style things, right? It's like was it Die Money or B Money and BitGold, right? They were just destroyed because they were centralized. And that was what the governments usually did with people to try to create currencies. But Bitcoin, by its nature, and because it's this massive shield, and it is impenetrable. It is impossible to take out without just mining it and overtaking it. It's opened up the space for us to explore and work with the power of money, like the language of money. Basically, no one was ever in history allowed to actually write with money, except for like the Medicis and the bankers, right? Like now, if you can just be an individual and you can use this language that's like a coding language of money. Yeah, and like and thank God for Bitcoin. So, and if Bitcoin goes, they're coming for you. So why would I want to be better than Bitcoin? That's retarded. And it's also kind of like we're obviously building on the top of it, in the same way that I made an analogy in my post. Is like Telegram doesn't say "fuck you TCP." Like they use TCP. Like they're built on TCP. It makes no sense. And so I've always found that like it's really embarrassing when people have come out and they love that kind of tweet. Like, oh, ETH is bigger than Bitcoin, and it's like, humble yourself a little bit.
Okay, wait.
Right?
I had like 4 things I was gonna ask you, but you kind of like throw me no choice at this last question here. Is like, I mean, Jason Calacanis is like on Twitter talking about BTC or TAO over BTC, which has to be a weird feeling because on one hand, it's like probably everything you ever wanted is all these eyeballs and attention and capital on top of Bittensor, but on the other hand, based off what you just said, he walked into his house and like punched your grandpa.
Yeah, I mean that's why I responded. But like it's an open network. It's permissionless. You can come and you can make it your own.
That was
and
good.
It's not just about thing. And so, hey, more power to you. That's what you think, but like it just creates drama, and I think that like he's doing that on purpose. He's a guy like that likes attention, and that's a great way to get attention. And but it's not what I believe. And I think that my opinion matters more than his, probably at the end of the day.
That was good. Okay, this might be I might have just like missed this, but can you explain what makes Bittensor inherently like AI and artificial intelligence adjacent? Because at least how I would understand Bittensor in layman terms, it's like you could utilize emissions to incentivize anything per se, right? Like the subnets could essentially, I don't know exactly how it works, but I would imagine in like the way you explained it, it could be anything. Why is it AI, decentralized AI? What is the AI tie in to Bittensor?
Yeah, I mean, I've always had the problem with this because it's people are like, oh, is it crypto applied to AI, or is it AI applied to crypto, or are they actually just kind of one and the same thing? And I like to sit in that space because the truth is that basically we took ideas from artificial intelligence, like the structure of these like feedback loops and like how to think about it like a machine learning engineer, and then we took the ideas of crypto and we basically put them in, right? So and this new thing in the center is neither crypto nor AI, because it's monetary computing, you could say, or like incentive computing. Yeah. And but okay, so then in the technology is AI crypto, and it's crypto AI. It doesn't actually, like, AI itself is just a bunch of tools, but it applies to everything, right? So you use AI to do robotics and farming and language and statistics and everything, and computer science and business. You apply this tool to all things. Yeah. And like in the same way that you can apply, and basically when you can apply, the reason you can apply it is because it's like abstract, really powerful tooling for solving problems. And so we built this abstract, really powerful tooling for solving problems that's like AI. It has very similar artificial intelligence qualities, and therefore we can apply it to all these things, including AI, because why? It's the hottest thing in tech right now, and it's also the fastest moving thing. So obviously we're going to apply it to AI because there's so much demand for commodities and things like inference, but you can take it to everything else. Crypto invented for the first time, right, in human history, the ability to write with money, and to build AI systems with money, and so therefore, obviously, crypto is part and parcel of what we built, but yeah, it's neither.
That was honestly a beautiful answer. I guess like a follow up on this is the way you see it. You know, I know it's this open network, but if Bittensor played out exactly how you could imagine it in your grand vision, like what does that look like? Like what of value would be created from Bittensor that you would see as like a success case?
Well,
I know it's a brutal question, but I just like, what direction do you want this thing to head?
We're beginning to see in like the beginnings of, say, like subnets on Bittensor that are like fully self-contained functioning economic systems, right? So you can bring compute, you can provide it in this permissionless market, and you can make a little bit of an edge with the token, and that makes sense, and that's exciting, right? So that like we can have these permissionless markets for all sorts of different things, which is valuable and lowers the price, and that's cool. But like that's not really that compelling. Like the finance angle and like just, oh, let's make things cheaper and more efficient. We spend a lot of time doing that, obviously, because you know it doesn't matter if you have this grand vision if it doesn't work, right? So you know, it works, right? Like people, thousands, millions of people use Bittensor's inference and compute and things like this, and like that's fantastic, and I'm really happy that we can provide that. But there's another angle to this too, which is that we're not just trying to be fast and efficient. We're not just trying to be Bitcoin mining applied to things for the good of Bitcoin mining. We also believe that like when you build systems like this, when you build, say, like a neutral technology like Bitcoin, that many people can hold and own and contribute to and build on top of and see transparently what is it's built of, and actually critique it for its structure in and out in the way that you can do with decentralized technologies. Like that is the bosom that we should be developing artificial intelligence in. Like that is the womb for proper aligned AI, not in a centralized lab that you can't tell who owns it or what their, and like you can never work for it, and you're always just going to be suckling off the teat of this AI Elysium Borg thing, right? That we don't know if it's like Epstein aligned or not, but you would never know because it's not it's not transparent, and you can't own it. It's a closed round, and like you can never contribute to it. You can't go there. They don't want to hire you. You don't know how it works. You know, like that is just a recipe for, I think, a really, really disastrous outcome for this like machine god that we're building. Right, we're building this machine god. Is this machine god going to be this, you know, top-down totalitarian? Like, I think that the real risk is basically Elysium. Have you seen the movie Elysium?
No,
right?
No. I have to go watch it.
What?
No. What is it?
It's a sci-fi, and it's
Elysium,
Matt Damon, and basically it's this future world where the whole world looks kind of like Gaza, right? It's just destroyed, and the elites live in this space station where they have access to like better medical technology and robots. And you know, like this is the vision for the Silicon Valley elite, right? Because they don't have the tools for anything else, so they just imagine that they want to be the people that are own everything.
Yeah, pick the ladder up behind you, right?
Yeah, and there's like no agency for the rest of us in their vision for the future. And you know, they'll have like Elon Musk will have a robot army to himself. He will be a trillionaire, and you will not participate, and you will own nothing and be happy or whatever.
You own nothing and be happy.
Yeah.
So can this decentral? Finish. Sorry. finished.
No, it's okay. Like I think you get the point. Like
Yeah.
we can just build it differently. And like two paths that people want. Like one is the centralized labs, and the other one's like government oversight. And the government oversight is just not going to work because it's really inefficient.
Yeah.
And the centralized labs are just winning because they're faster. But there's no openness. There's no shared control, and you just can never participate. Whereas like anybody who's watching this thread right now can just go out and join our Discord and mine Bittensor and become a successful person inside Bittensor. Participate in like, you know, give us your humbled masses. You're going to be free. Like you can come and just join Bittensor and become a board of directors, right? Like you can just become important in this ecosystem, and there's no way that you can do that with the centralized lab.
So the unfortunate story with AI or with crypto, at least as it relates to AI, is it's always like, you know, in Silicon Valley, artificial intelligence, they build this like really cool thing, and it's like, hey, crypto kids, go play with like the retard light version. Like, cool, Peter Steinberger builds OpenClaw, and then we're like trading OpenClaw meme coin on fucking Solana and Tenmo, right? And so the question is like, okay, Bittensor, you could participate in building this like open and decentralized, you know, AI future, but like, can you actually compete at a serious, meaningful level? Like what does that look like? How can you actually compete? You can participate, fuck it, but can you compete?
Right. Well, okay. So just take Shoots, one of the top systems of Bittensor, was for a very long time. So they built this perfect market for compute where you can, like the miners bring the compute and you inference them and you get the outputs, and like that runs OpenClaw as an example, or you can build your agent or code with it as an example. So they were getting the fastest tokens per second on OpenRouter on a whole bunch of open source models, and at the cheapest price. And not just the cheapest price, like because they lowered the price, but like economically, they were able to get their lowest price when they looked at the cost, at the price they were paying per H200 hour. Okay. And why was that? It was because, let's say that you want to go become an inference provider, where somebody that has a bunch of compute and you play this game. You can't actually compete against the like this like liquidware economic system where basically if at every moment in time, if you're not as good as the next guy, you just get kicked from the network, and the better guy who can run infrastructure and do it for cheaper comes in. So you build this inferencing providing company, and then you want to like, you know, rest on your laurels and like take a bit for yourself. Well, the market takes a long time to cut that away, that inefficiency, but we do it instantaneous. We do it every hour, right? Every hour we're remeasuring and replacing and remeasuring and replacing. And so this like hyper annealing towards efficiency is where we are able to get, okay, the compute for way cheaper and the inference very fast if we can measure that properly. And so, you know, we don't just talk a big game and don't do anything. Like we were serving at one point the largest number of open source model tokens on OpenRouter for like a whole 6 month period. It was just Shoots, and we were doing that by this competitive game that was allowing us to do it for really cheap and really efficiently. And that's just one narrative. That's just one narrow band. But then like you apply that to everything else, like building like coding agents that are really good at solving problems. I want to asterisk here because it's like really difficult to do this. Like it's a much harder problem to do what we're doing. But when we get it right, it just goes way faster, and it's way more efficient. And so we can compete. We can actually just like always win if we can define the problem better than them, because we can just consume theirs and put it into ours and then beat it, and it just goes faster. And corporations tend to just stultify and die because people don't want to work. But when you're you know, fuck the miners on Bittensor, they have to work, man. And they do. And so like we've proved time and time again, there was a good period like in 2024, we were just crushing benchmarks everywhere. We were crushing benchmarks, you know, fastest searching, fastest bettings, fastest AI, best AI detection, best like 3D generation, best. Every single one of has something that they're the best at, and you know, you go and you become the best at it, and then you try to monetize it, and sometimes it doesn't work. But yeah, we're probably one of the only cryptos that can say that, like that we actually do things that are state of the art. And I think that like we will continue to do that. So we have the best, the largest decentralized training run in the world. We have the largest decentralized model ever run. We have the best algorithms for it. The miners are doing it the most efficiently and the most effectively. And then now I think it's really just going to continue in that direction. And so we just need honestly time, because it's nothing's going to happen fast. But yeah.
How does that like acceleration curve work once, like you said, it really starts working? Like how like violent is that?
Well, yeah, it's like the thing about incentive mechanisms is that they're very hard because they're permissionless. You don't control everything. There's so many ways to exploit them. There's so many ways to cheat. And so you have to get very, very precise about how you define the metric of success in a way that people can't just like say copy the answer, like as an example. But when you do, it's kind of like aiming this massive laser cannon, and you finally get it aligned, and then boom, it explodes something. It has this kind of quality where there's the 0 to 1s, always 0. It's like it's not working at all, and then it's working all in an amazing way. And so that's often like if you're looking at subnets, they may have a really good idea. The incentives might not be aligned properly. If they can get the incentives aligned, they'll have success very quickly, like in whichever domain they pick.
What are you the most excited about right now? Like you're working on a subnet, Bittensor. I mean, it's not. I don't think it's fair to say you're getting a lot of attention right now because you've honestly had it for a while. But what are you like? I don't know. You're kind of a fucking Chad. I was gonna glaze you when you got off, but you could clearly. I mean, you could work out whatever you wanted, I'm sure. And so, what are you like the most excited about and like trying to solve like with Bittensor and like in the world? I don't know.
Oh, good question. I have a lot of projects going. Wow, interesting. One of them, I think that we need to solve, and like we're trying to solve in Bittensor, and I think we will solve it, is like human identity in an open source way. Rather than the orb, like let's build open source software that can do human detection, and human and uniqueness as well. So like we can build like identity systems that are open source. I think that's really cool. And
why did WorldCoin fail? Not to just throw you off.
Because everyone hates them. Like you can't get funding from Sam Altman, the guy who's trying to enslave us, and then pretend to be like, we're freedom technology.
Yeah.
Like, what are you trying to do? I don't know. Like, it just seemed odd. And like the orb was so dystopian.
Was yeah, brutal.
Well, why would you do it like that? And then the technology is actually really good though. Like the guys were really smart.
It works, right? I always tweet this whenever some weird shit happens. There's like a parallel universe where WorldCoin is like flip Bitcoin,
Yeah, right. Isn't that a testament to this industry? Like that we actually, people fucking hate crypto people.
Yeah, so bad.
For good reasons sometimes, but also like deep down, we're freedom fighters. And that's why WorldCoin didn't work, is because we're permeated by people that actually believe in freedom. You know what I mean? Like that is actually who we are. And that's not an AI, by the way.
Yeah.
The AI people who think they're so hot and high and mighty, they're just normies. They're all blue church people. I love them to death. They're all very smart, but they're not freedom people. They don't really grasp geopolitics. You know what I mean? They don't really understand, and they don't really care. They're just going to go work for the Borg and make their money and live and play their board games. But the crypto people are like, we're renegades, man. And so you can't try to do WorldCoin on us. It's not going to work. So anyways, but the human thing is a big thing. Like taking decentralized training to like 1 trillion parameters is really the end goal for Templar. And then like I'm currently, what I'm trying to do is basically stitch all of the subnets together with agentic. Basically, like you've seen what's happening with auto research and like what people can do with their open clause. Well, Bittensor is like moving into a new era where it's the perfect ecosystem for agents, because you can play every side of it. So like a machine learning model is now at the point where it's like an AI can mine Bittensor and also build subnets and trade it and like buy the commodities that it needs directly from the chain. And so it all starts to really integrate as an ecosystem with agents. You say, here's a TAO wallet, go run some compute, get some inference, store some files, go mine Bittensor and make money to fund the whole thing, and then make a subnet to do what you want. And like that's crypto is the perfect place for agentic, the agentic world. And like what I'm excited about is basically you doing that myself. Like I can now just run 10 companies with AI agents, and like that's what I'm excited about, using it to speed up Bittensor and like build on Bittensor.
That was beautiful. I know it's late for you. I kind of want to ask you like a sign off here. I think we hit like most of the Bittensor stuff. I want to ask you like a crypto question. I wasn't expecting you to be like so cypherpunk and like just have great takes on crypto. You're really optimistic about crypto. I'm really optimistic. Crypto changed my life. I would not be here without crypto. I came in through NFTs. I have like a different origin story. I came into trade, stayed because it's fucking awesome here. But you're building and working on, the future. And I'm trading. And most stuff here is slop and garbage. So when you trade a lot of slop and garbage, you tend to get pretty fucking cynical, taking into account where we are right now, where the market is, and then maybe like, where AI has gone, where it feels like a lot of talent is fleeting, running away. We get like the light version. And so I think a lot of the trading side, I'm not even sure how much you interface with this cohort, is very cynical, is very jaded, and questioning, was it all just a vehicle for BlackRock tokenization and Bitcoin's an Epstein pedo coin and we all just die and lose? Like, where 2026, like, you were here 2015 mining Bitcoin, you had the ethos, cypherpunk, freedom fighter. 2026, what keeps you so obsessed and passionate about crypto? Because you're like a dying breed, if you will.
Well, I mean, like, yeah, I've been in the industry since 2014, 2015, and like I've seen a number of bull runs, right? And like and people get so exuberant, and then you get all these just assholes show up, like the frat boys show up, and they just ruin it, and then they lose a bunch of money, and then they're disenthralled, and then it's a great breath of fresh air, and then it comes back, and like obviously there's like cycles. And like what keeps me going is what kept me going from the very beginning is like Bitcoin's vision of a fair monetary future, like one where governments are tethered to a system that they can't manipulate through war, right? It's like, what are we seeing right now in the world, right? We're seeing people trying to fight for the dollar reserve currency. Like the number of people that have died because the only way to win that game is through violence. And Bitcoin comes along and says, hey, we can build it so that they can't take that away from you. You'll always be able to have this digital currency. You'll never be able to inflate it away, and they can't steal it from you. You can store it in your mind. You can transfer across the globe. That never died for me. And people always like, they speculate, but like, it was Epstein involved. Like, who cares? If you're smart enough to read the code, you can see how it works. And it's doesn't say anything about Epstein in there. Like, you can just like it doesn't matter if Satan himself made Bitcoin. It doesn't matter. Bitcoin is inherently good. It's inherently a freedom technology. It doesn't matter who made it. But most people they can't understand it. So they're like, they're playing this game where they're like, oh no, a bad person is involved, therefore it must be evil. And not that I think that Jeffrey Epstein was in any way involved, but even if he was, is what I'm saying. Like that vision has never really changed. And so, okay, Bitcoin enabled this whole future where we can play with money, right? And Ethereum invented this ability to build smart contracts, like, which was a classic financial idea, in a decentralized and a trustless way. And like that still exists and is still going to be the place where a lot of the digital web is the Web3 web is living, is in Ethereum. And I'm a big Ethereum fan as well. But like also I think that we eventually are going to draw the attention of like real researchers that see what we're doing at Bittensor and understand like this is real technology, like this you can compute with money. And so none of that changed for me. So if you were like into pumped up fun, like, yeah, I guess like that's not really it. I guess maybe it is, but if you were disenthralled with it dumping, then like I don't know. I think that was you're kind of setting yourself up. Like if you thought that was going to go to a billion or whatever. So I don't know. What do you think?
Dude, I think you're incredible. This is like why I love crypto, and I've been spending so much time talking about fucking oil and everything else, that this was like a breath of fresh air. You were the first person to contribute to Bittensor white paper 2015.
Mm-hmm.
And so how many people actively work on like Bittensor versus like subnets separate from that? How many people actively work on like Bittensor?
Not that many people actually.
Do you
I
actively work
would-
on it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Totally. I mean, I stepped down from the foundation as the CEO because I wanted to just participate in the network, and being in this like central figure, and like you can't have any fun. Like I can't mine because people will like conflict of interest and things like this. So I've stepped down. But I'm always contributing. People know my opinion for sure.
Hey,
if that makes sense.
What's the painting behind you?
The painting?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh,
It's
just
a
a
rental.
Okay. I thought you gotta have some sick story for me. Dude, this was awesome, man. I really appreciate your time and you coming on. I know it's late in Europe. Is there anything you wanted to like sign off with, or I was really supposed to ask you that I didn't ask? Or yeah.
I watched you talk to Sammy, and I got a lot of invites on podcasts today, but I wanted to speak with you because I just really like your show and I like your vibe, and I think you're a dope person. Yeah.
Oh, that's you saw the Sammy interview. That was awesome. Someone said to me, we did it in November, which was actually funny. It was a while ago. That's awesome, man. I appreciate you doing it.
Yeah, that was sweet. And anyways, I just think you have a great vibe, man. So like, yeah, let's keep crypto going because we need to.
Sick. I'm gonna DM you some stuff when we get off, just like when questions come up, because yeah, I think you're sick. Is there anything you want to like direct people to? Any links you want to share? Substack, your Twitter's link, they have it, obviously. Is there any place you want to send? People fuck with you. Like, is there any place you want to send people?
The Bittensor Discord. Go try to mine a subnet. It's really fun.
Sick. Const, by the way, I'm pronouncing it right, yeah?
Yeah, Const.
Const.
Yeah,
Dude,
like Const.
absolute pleasure, man. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for your time. I'm sure we'll talk offline, and this was a lot of fun, dude.
Awesome, dude.
All right, brother.
Thanks,
Have a good night. Peace.
Bye.
Okay, explain Bittensor right now. Go. Everybody explain it right now. Explain it right now. That was a movie, man. Bitcoin, would they pay you to be very good at chess? That was awesome. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be completely honest. If he's still watching, I deeply apologize. I did not realize you created Bittensor before he came on. Somebody said that in the chat, and I'm in our company chat like, guys, how do we miss this? I gotta lock in. That was incredible, man. When was the last time we had somebody on the stream that was so passionate about crypto? I mean, seriously, that was beautiful. The TAO eco is intense. That was beautiful. I had the time of my life. I got to talk to that guy all day. That was beautiful. We have a lot to learn. I think we have a lot to learn. This is how I usually learn stuff. Is find a new topic I'm excited about, take in as much as humanly possible over like a 3-day period, and at the very end, we're ripping Brent oil longs on Hyperliquid on size. We should try to build a subnet on stream. That's actually a crazy thing you just typed in the chat. Is that even possible? You know what's so fascinating about it is how like brutally capitalistic it is. Thank you for the gifted DNAP. How brutally capitalistic it is. And if at any moment there's a second of inefficiency, it's just replaced by somebody more efficient, protecting more TAO. That was a lot of fun. What's going on with oil? I know I don't want to move on though. I want to just like watch that guy do interviews. Does he have more interviews? Const. Does he have more interviews? We'll do oil in a second. I just want to listen to that guy talk, low key. I don't know. I just want to listen to that guy talk. He has no interviews. Was that like a really rare get? Look up Open Tensor Foundation on YouTube. You were his first one. Stop. Okay, here. I'll do ceasefire in a
Some
minute,
moms
dude.
want
Just...
to build income from home. They
Oh,
just
I
don't
almost
want
watched
to
this
post,
last night.
pitch,
I
or
didn't
be
do it.
online all the time. That's exactly why Amazon Zero is catching on.
Oh, this is so sick.
Changing in a
Where is he? What is this?
Just like how we design
Where is he? Where is he?
product
of it. This is the last decade to good outcome.
yeah where that's
In here.
Time and has been incredibly successful. But what Bittensor is an alternative to this.
Oh, this
new
Mark's coming
network,
on
these things called Bitcoins.
Thursday.
There's the
Sammy?
number of Bitcoinized organizations, right? Like the
That's
number
Sammy?
of Bitcoin miners, the number of Bitcoin contribution. Those two principles.
No way. Sick. Well, we'll come back to it. That was awesome. That was the most fun I've had in a while. God, I fucking love crypto. Let's be honest. I'll be honest. I needed to hear it. Just the crypto convo. I needed the crypto. Like, I needed the crypto. I really did. We might have to let Sammy back on. I agree. All right, let's talk about what the fuck just happened in the oil markets. Cons has plenty of interviews. They're just under his real name. What's his real name? Type Cons Bittensor on YouTube. Cool. Chat, be honest. Did you need some crypto optimism? Jacob Steves. What does const mean? Jacob Steves. Let's see real quick. Jacob Steves. Oh, it's the goatee. It's the goatee. Nice. Okay, word. Oh, he does like some imagine you're in college and this guy comes and speaks at your fucking at your course. Are you kidding me? That's wild. Do you believe in TAO teaching? I still don't know enough. I just got excited about honestly, Jason Calacanis. Like, I don't know what else to say. I did. His JCal analysis was very funny, by the way. All right, where are we at with oil? It's looking like the taco of all tacos has happened here, my friends. We had how big of a dump is this on oil? We were going to talk about war next anyways. 6% candle down. Where are we at? Where are we at? Let's go, like, should I go Walter Bloomberg probably? What has happened? Nothing, really. Chico Crypto needs your live stream. Zero hedge. Okay, here we go. I see you in the chat, but I want the whole, like, I want to get the whole picture just in case I missed anything. Let's see. No. Okay, oil tumble, stocks surge as Israeli TV reports imminent 1-month ceasefire announcement. How's the market? Bitcoin doesn't care. It's just that one headline. It's just a headline, really. US seeks 1-month ceasefire. With framework to end the war. It's just one headline. A ceasefire for a period of 1 month will be announced according to a mechanism that Witkoff and Kushner are working on. What does this mean, this hashtag? Oh, wait, like hashtag event urgent. A ceasefire for a period of 1 month that will be announced. The U.S. reportedly sent Iran a plan to end the Mideast war. To a mechanism that Witkoff and Kushner are working on. So it's not even done. Whoa, here we go. All right, lock in. A ceasefire for a period of 1 month. By the way, we stopped paying attention to war for like 1 second and everything happens. A ceasefire for a period of 1 month will be announced according to a mechanism that Witkoff and Kushner are working on. According to AI, setting Israeli Channel 12. That's where the news came from, is Israeli Channel 12. No Trump. No Trump? Stop. No Trump, no Netanyahu, but Israeli Channel 12 is our news source on this. Really? Guys, really? That's no Trump? This is why we stopped longing oil. No Trump. How old is this tweet? 139, like 30 minutes ago. No Trump? Banger. All right. No, I know those guys don't negotiate, but like the announcement doesn't come from Trump himself claiming victory, anything. All right, here we go. According to AI, the U.S. aims at a month-long ceasefire. The agreement with Iran is very similar to the understandings in Gaza and Lebanon. A 15-point agreement will be negotiated during the month of a possible ceasefire. The 15 clauses of the agreement with Iran. 1. Automatically cancel the threat of reimposition of sanctions. So no sanctions. Dismantling Iran's existing nuclear capabilities. That's huge. Agreement with Iran. Iran vows to never seek nuclear weapons. I'm sure that they will stick to that. Preventing the enrichment of any nuclear material on Iranian territory. 5. Delivery of enriched uranium to the IAEA. What is this? International Atomic Energy Agency. 6. Decommissioning and destroying. Are these nuclear sites? Are these nuclear sites? What is this? Oh, yeah, it's an enrichment site. Are all of them? Fuck my life, Discord. Okay, they're like energy infrastructure. Grant the IAEA full access to all information. Iran abandons proxies approach. Stopping funding and arming militias in the region. Dude, they're just like keeping the Strait of Hormuz open without any closure. Postponement of decision on ballistic missile program. Ballistic missiles are only used for defense. Lifting all sanctions on Iran. Support the development of a civilian nuclear program. Automatically cancel the threat of reimposition of sanctions. We didn't already say this. This reads like a Christmas wish list. This is like what I really hope happened. This is like Trump's like, I really hope we get all these. This is like what he gave Kushner to go negotiate. Was like, please get these 15 things done. Please bet. Please get this done. This is my wish list. This is kind of, I don't know. What does Polymarket say? Hold on, before I give any takes. And everyone's dying for my geopolitical Iran takes, so let's see where we're at. Dear Santa ad list. Troops on the ground is flat. Didn't move. And ceasefire. by March 31st. Didn't really move, bruh. Let's go like further date. Let's go like April 30 is a decent one. It was at 44. It's at like 53. What has the most volume? March 31st has the most volume, 25 mil. This is probably pretty signal. It was at 6% a couple days ago. Earlier it was at 12. Now it's at 23. They're buying it like a 2x at 10%. I think Arkansas has a better chance to win the national championship than this ceasefire. Is that true? I don't know how to find the full market. That's crazy. Yeah. This feels insane to me. I'm not gonna lie. So what did oil do? Fell off a cliff and then sort of recovered. What is Israeli 12? What is Israeli 12? Channel 12. News from the Middle East. This is like... The block announces... Right? Am I off? This is like... Degenerate News like has an announcement, right? The Times of Israel, Channel 12. It's not... The story isn't even here. It's not on the front page. How is it not on the front page? What? This is like Cointelegraph did start the bull market. Brother, it's not even on the front page. Why is it not on the front page? Nowhere to be found. Yeah, this is save that link if you can, Tulip King, that cons thing. Here we go. It's a free-to-air television channel owned by the Keshet Media Group. It was a replacement for Channel 2. This is insane. I'm sorry. This is nuts. There's no... This is why I'm out of oil. Because it's fucking... You're not going to make money in this market. You are absolutely... What does people think? Let's do a timeline scroll before I give any takes. We got to catch up. Wow. This being his last tweet is Aura. The law of diminishing tacos. What happened to the thread guy that used to get the interview? Shouldn't you be in Iran recording a podcast with a supreme leader? Who? Who would you even want me to? Who? Here. Seems highly irrational for Iran to open the strait during a ceasefire and forego all negotiating leverage. All right, let's look at this. Iran on potential U.S. ground invasion. For years, we've been awaiting the Americans' entry. We have just one message for the American soldiers: come closer. That does not sound to me like a ceasefire. Let's just do a quick TL scroll, then I have some takes. We have some stuff to cover. Wait, I want to read this. Seems highly irrational for Iran to open the strait during a ceasefire and forego all negotiating leverage. In that case, Trump would just aim for an indefinite ceasefire. And for that to even get off the ground, Iran would need to know the U.S. is negotiating in good faith, which was proven to be a false belief weeks ago when they attacked during negotiations. The moral of the story is Iran has the leverage here as Trump is crying uncle, not taco. but he'll continue to do everything possible to make it seem that's not the case. I mean, this is what we've been saying, but the market is just going to crush you. Okay, a couple. Announcement of announcement. When Trump believes that his words are losing power, whoa, crazy take, actually. When Trump believes his words are losing power, he delegates them onto Jared Kushner and others alike who have a fresh health bar of credibility. In the war, there are no rules. Lying is the absolute least of anyone's concern when there are dead bodies in the mix. They will lie as much as they need to. Wow. That's actually a really good take. What is this? Colin. Let's just catch up first before we do takes. Wait. Trump did a press conference and mentioned nothing of a 1-month ceasefire. Now news comes out 5 minutes after option trading closes by Israeli Channel 12, mind you. A month-long ceasefire is being worked on. When was the Trump interview? Timeline. What's the timeline? It's going to be hard to find it this way. What is this? Iran reporting's all over the place. It wasn't even Iran reporting. It was Israeli 12 news. Oh, I can't read this. Huh. Iran is to the Straits of Hormuz as Trump is to the globe. People understand it's not a good idea to make Iran feel an extra threat to back them in a corner, but they don't realize that Trump backed Iran into a corner because the world backed Trump into a corner. Dude, this should I read a couple more before I give you my take? Before I form an opinion? I'm trying to like have an open mind here. Is there anyone else whose opinions we care about real quick? Pee Pee Poo Poo didn't tweet. Did Merp tweet? Oil Quant. No. Citrini. Wrong Citrini. No. Anybody else that we care about real quick? I don't think so. I guess Kabisi letter. Tweeted this, which is crazy. And then this. All right. This is why we closed our fucking oil long, man. Because you're competing. If you are long oil, your counterparty is magic. Okay? Your counterparty is black magic. It is dark magic. You are competing against an entity that isn't even real. You're competing against an idea. Jan, the 5 gifted, thank you. You're competing against an idea. You're competing against a concept. You're competing against a collective belief. We're not even trading oil. We're trading. Remember when Ben Pasternak launched like prediction market, like sentiment markets or whatever? You're trading like that on Trump. You're trading like Trump sentiment is what you're trading. You're trading if you're long oil, you're trading how much do people believe in Trump as a president. You're trading Trump approval rating at this point. That's what you're trading if you're trading oil. You're trading Trump's approval rating, period. That's it. That's what you're trading. You're trading his approval rating. And all right, here's what we're going to do. Let me get up really quick. Let me get up for 30 seconds. I'm going to come back and then I'm going to talk about the inflection point that is still in play. And this is going to end one of 3 ways, and it's going to happen fucking soon, okay? Either U.S. is going to escalate, he's going to taco for real, or the market's going to stop reacting to his taco. One of the fucking 3 is going to happen, and I don't have a lot of adjectives to use. It's going to be...
Don't be ducking like.
All right. I was gonna start. Stay scheming. One of Drake. I don't know if it's his best verse, but it's one of his better. All right, here's the deal. I was gonna do this whole segment about Trump market manipulation, and I was gonna play Nick Fuentes clips, and I was gonna fucking do the whole nine. But I think what's more important that's happening right now is, man, I think we're coming to like a climax on this war thing very soon, specifically around Trump comments. Like we talked about this yesterday, that the market right now, as the market exists, is you are trading nothing other than attention and what Trump says. Okay? And it doesn't matter if the grass is green. If Trump says the grass is brown, the grass is brown. If he looks up and he says the sky is red, you are trading the sky as if it is red, and doing anything else is just, bro, you're just asking to get carried out. You're asking to get carried out. If he says the sky is yellow, the sky is fucking yellow until he says otherwise. And that's just the market we exist in. And that's the way it's been. And for right now, that's the way it just is. And I feel like trying to fight this is a losing battle. That's why we closed oil. But the problem is, as I understand it, historical Trump tacos, Trump always chickens out, is it's really easy to back out of words and ideas. Okay? But you can't print molecules, is what Jeff Curry said. You can't print molecules. Okay? And so it's really easy for Trump to float a tariff headline over everybody's head. The market dumps. Bonds pump, bond yields go up too much, where he's like, fuck it, I want out. And then he like rescinds tariff implications. That's like very easy to do. Okay? It's like, hey, I don't want to hang out anymore. And then your friend gets really sad. You're like, no, we can hang out. Okay? But what's happening right now is way more akin to like, you punch your friend in the face and he says, oh my God, ow, I hate you, we're not friends anymore. And you're like, no, I didn't mean it. And he's like, no, but like, you already punched me in the face. I don't care if you didn't mean it. My face hurts. I was going to use the girlfriend cheating analogy, but maybe that one's not as fun. Okay? And that's what's happening in Iran, is like, he has punched them in the face, and he's sort of, the market saying, hey, you should stop. And he's sort of like ready to stop. At least it seems, art of the deal, right? I don't know. It seems he's ready to stop. And so he's kind of like, hey, Iran, like, let's stop. And they're like, what do you mean? Like, my face hurts. I don't want to stop. And the market is pricing in example number one, because it's always been example number one, where he says, I don't want to be your friend anymore. Then, never mind, we can still be friends because you cried really hard. And this tweet came out from, I think this is the guy who's leading negotiations with Iran, allegedly. And he says, let's see if they could turn that into actual fuel at the pump, or maybe even print gas molecules. Okay? And so the market has basically been conditioned with like 5 years of Trump tacos that, like, if the market gets bad enough, you never sell because it cannot get worse, because he will just end it. Okay? And so we've been playing around in these oil order books. And I mean, this just like looks like mental illness. I mean, look at this. Look at what I'm about to show you on the screen. I can't believe we've basically covered I can basically tell you what is every 5% move either direction, what's happened. I could tell you, like, if you gave me the date, I could tell you. Okay. And the reason I could tell you is that every 5-minute move is the exact same. Everyone from here to here to here is the exact same. Okay. Some massive escalation happens, an oil field in Iran, a drone strike against Kuwait. Some major escalation happens. Oil candles, CC right here, 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 and then right here. And then every time immediately after, Trump says something along the lines of, the war is almost over. Right here, right here, right here, right here, right here, this dump, 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 and then now this dump. And every time he said the war is over, it's like dumping a little bit less and recovering like a little bit faster. At first, it was like, I mean, look at this first one. SPR and Trump says it's over. We dumped 32% top to bottom on Trump saying the war is over for the first time. That's just a comment. It was a headline of Trump saying the war is over soon. And the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, which actually means nothing, but we don't really care because we're not reading. We just need good news. The first time he did it, it dumped 32%. The most recent time, which, by the way, the headline is significantly more intense, whether it's from Israeli news channel 4 or not. It's like it's a way further along headline. 30-day ceasefire. That word has never been used. The word ceasefire has not been used once this whole time. No one has said ceasefire. We've said end the war, won the war. Iran out of drones, Iran out of missiles, opening the strait. There was the fake Chris Wright, straits open. There was a million wars almost over. The word ceasefire has never been uttered once. Okay? And so think about it. Back here, fuck my life. Back here, he says, first time the war is over, uttered a headline, 32%. And then this headline, which is like 10 times more severe, ceasefire, only dumps the market 5%. 5, bro. And not long ago, we had like a 10, a 12 over here. This one was pretty significant. We had a 19% dump. And then immediately on conversations that were almost through good discussions with Iran, dumps 19% immediately after Iran comes out. It's like, no, we actually never spoke. Ends up being like 12%, still 12% down on a lie. So we had these like 30, then you had 15, then you had some 12s, then you had some 10s, then you had some 9s, some 8s. And then now you have the most significant headline that's come out of this entire positive ending of the war. Only dumps oil 5%. 5%. And so what's happening looks something like, I saw this from Thicky's Telegram. Taco number 1, taco number 2, taco number 3, taco number 4, taco number 5, number 6, number 7, number 8, like a turkey on Thanksgiving. Off a cliff the other direction. And so the reason I think we are headed to a climax here very shortly is something like this tweet. And by the way, this is why we are out of this fucking oil trade, is this. Nothing's changed. If anything, it's gotten worse and oil's down. It's never come close to the first breakout. Never come close. Oh, you could have been long oil this whole time. Your thesis being situations gotten out of hand in the Middle East. You could have been right the entire time, and you've just been like chopping yourself to death. Just nonstop chop, nonstop chop, nonstop chop. And the reason I think we're getting there is this. This right here. When you can influence big money to move around based on news, you have very limited ammunition. You have valuable bullets. Teams in crypto know this very well. You cannot spam announcements. Everything comes back to crypto. If anything, we all know that teasing the idea of something is often better than releasing it. Speculation is what the market feeds on. The market has always been a case of buy the rumor and sell the news, other than a few rare cases. Trump has only a few bullets in his possession to save the market in terms of his announcements. The more he fires at once, the less impact his bullets have. Spray and pray versus precision shots. He saved his bullets for key moments, relating directly to pivotal moments in the S&P 500. You could argue the bond market, whatever. It doesn't matter. Let the market bleed And before it looks overly bleak, save it. This is common sense, right? I agree. But the one thing that people aren't realizing yet is what happens when all credibility is lost. When buy the rumor is repeated so many times, in this case, a peace deal or similar, that it is rendered ineffective. In that case, it becomes a sell the rumor. Do you understand? Eventually, Trump's fake news will lead to more sell-offs and his capacity to save the market will be finished. This is when we'll see real capitulation. It's a ticking time bomb and he knows it. Dr. Axios. And so my read on the war, because many commodities traders around the world are asking threadguy, what do you think? Threadguy this, threadguy that. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Well, I'll tell you what I think. I will tell you what I think. And in order to articulate what I think, I'm going to bring out my old trusty Microsoft pen. Okay? Here's what I think. Okay? Here's what I think. I think that there is a timeline here. A timeline right now. Okay? There's a deadline, there's a clock. Okay? There is a clock. Okay? I've been watching too much Professor Jang. I'm arguably one shot. Okay? The timeline here, I work at a commodities firm. The swings have been insane. Yeah, the swings are fucking gnarly. Timeline here is 5 days. Okay? And what is significant about 5 days is that in 5 days, 8,000 Marines are going to arrive in Iran. I don't know how to spell that word. In Iran. Okay? 5 days, chat. 5 days. And so the only thing Trump cares about right now, at least it seems, and I wish we had like thought this through when we were trading oil at the beginning, is the whole game here is he's trying to buy time, right? He's trying to buy as much time as possible to do whatever he wants to do. Okay? And so there's like 3 outcomes here, honestly. I think there's 3 outcomes. Number 1, which is 65% likely on poly market, and I feel like every day that goes by that we don't have a ceasefire and we don't have a deal done feels more likely, which is just like ground invasion, right? There's 8,000 Marines on the way to Iran. Take Karg Island, whatever it is. Like number 1 is just invasion. And when this happens, oil is going to get cooked. I think, right? The obvious response to this is oil down bad. Okay? And so you have more wiggle room, I think. At least if I'm thinking about this logically, I'm drunk. You have more wiggle room if Brent is at $95 and if Brent's at 120 when you do this. You have way more wiggle room. You have way more wiggle room. You have like 3 days, 5 days, another week. You have oil goes up on the invasion because once we get there, this was originally pitched to us as a 3-day war, right? This was pitched as like as a 72-hour war. And so oil rips on this because full-blown escalation. Now, if it was an in and out, we're done, straits open, regime changes happen, Iran's taken, but the assumption is that this lasts a long time. It's like, because this is not in and out. And so this is like the obvious one of the 3. I'm not going to put percents on this because I don't fucking know. But this is option number 1, okay? This happens. It happens on Friday. Friday is the fucking deadline. Second option here is the best outcome for all cases is Trump taco, but for real. This means deal is done, okay? Deal is actually done. Terms don't fucking... Honestly, at this point, I don't really care. If he lies to us or not, terms don't matter. Oil down a ton. Risk up a ton. Now, the thing about this is it doesn't solve... Pregnant Man Soul, what's good? It doesn't solve our like initial problem, which is that AI doom, SaaS apocalypse, stocks are top. Like, it actually doesn't solve our like initial problems, but it solves our war problem if this gets done. Okay, this is feeling like increasingly likely is probably the best outcome for all sides. No matter what happens, I feel the terms that were laid out in that ceasefire, there's no way we get all of them done, because it's clear that Iran can just hold the Strait of Hormuz no matter how hard it takes. But let's just assume this happens. Let's assume they get the terms. This plays out, okay? The scariest outcome, though, that I think we're witnessing is the diminishing is Trump doesn't want to invade yet, but he also can't get a deal done. And so you get the diminishing returns of TAO. And what this is going to look like is that every time he tacos, it's like stocks up a ton, oil down, and then it's like a little less, and then it's like a little less, and then it's like a little less, and then eventually it's going to inverse. This, I think, will be fucking nuts if it happens. And probably the most likely outcome, which is that Trump is trying to buy as much time as possible for probably to get a ceasefire done, because who the fuck wants a ground invasion? Okay? So he's posturing, he's sending the troops, he's doing everything he can. In the meantime, since he knows we're not done yet, he has to buy as much time as possible by keeping oil down, suppressing oil. And so what are they doing to suppress oil? Well, we'll get to the manipulation segment after, but I don't know. Is Besson in the books? I don't know. Treasury shorting oil futures? I don't know. I'm just a guy that's paying attention, but the answer is maybe. But regardless, he's tacoed 10 times plus every couple days. Every time oil starts to rip, he pulls a taco. Trump always chickens out. They plant some headline, and every time the market reacts less. Okay, and so we showed it. The first headline was here, and then it 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 was here, and now we're like here. We are here. And so there is an outcome where you go all the way down here, and then all of a sudden the market stops reacting and it starts going the other direction. It starts tacoing the other direction, and you just lose control because there's like a moment, a chasm that gets crossed where the market doesn't trust Trump's word anymore. They don't trust Kushner. They don't trust Witkoff. They don't trust Vance. They don't trust Rubio. They don't trust what anyone's saying. They're like, no, the war's still going on. Gas is $7 in the tank, and you guys are suppressing the price, and the promises are empty, and you did one too many with that action, and it goes the other direction. Once it goes the other direction, it's like GG's. Oil, pew, piss missile. Stocks off a cliff. Bitcoin, go to church. And everything else, I have no idea what even happens. And so, seriously, we're like close to this. Bro, they announced a ceasefire, which is obviously fucking fake, right? I mean, I don't know. If the only war in Trump presidency just escalated to and stopped at a ceasefire and we were out, don't you think he'd be like talking about how we won the war? Look, I'm just a media guy. And I know how to get how to get a good clip. And it seems to me like that headline was so egregious that Trump himself can't even in good faith come out and say that it's true. And so give it to Israeli media 12 and then have like the White House and everybody retweet it. It's that egregious. He can't even say it in good faith, so fuck it, I'm not doing an interview. He'd be tweaking live. He can't even pretend. He's an actor. He can't even pretend. That's how bad it is. And so if we get here, it's GG's. It's just GG's. It is. It's cooked. things don't look good, and you lose control of the market, and then what happens after that? I don't really know what happens after that. If I'm just telling you on the diminishing talker returns, it was like it's going inverse. Iran already responded earlier. Okay, save that. It's like, look, it's like it's going something like this, where it's like, I don't know how to explain this, but like, okay, headline severity was like a 1. Price impact. Oh, this is actually a good way to explain it. Watch this. What did I just do? Headline severity was a 1. Price impact was like a 10. And then it's like 2.9, and then it's like 3.7, and then it's like 4.5, and then you go the other way, and it's like 6.3, and now we're, in my opinion, we're somewhere at like 7, like 2. 5%. Like, look, I know it's not that high, but 5% on a 30-day ceasefire. And so headline severity and then price impact. It was a 10, and then it was 2.9, then it was 3.7, then it was 4.5, then it flipped. We flipped. So you go like, and now the most recent ceasefire is 7.2. Now, chat, to all my little gamblers, what do we know about 7.2? What do we know about 7.2? 7.2 is the worst hand in poker. It's the worst hand in poker. It's the worst hand. And so not only has severity of headlines to price impact flipped in the wrong direction, but Trump has been handed the mythical 7 deuce. Now, if you win with 7.2, you're the GOAT. But the reason you're the GOAT, if you win with 7.2, is that nobody wins with 7.2. And you have to be a retard to play 7.2. Nobody plays it. You're either trolling or retarded if you're playing 7.2. It's a joke. You play it as like a joke. And which one is worse is unclear. But yeah, by the way, Luke, there's a fucking typo on the overlay for the most important, best, smartest, most talented, eloquent, handsome guest we've had on in like months. Thought there was some 4D chess going on there with that headline, with that title. Now, you know what the thing about thinking there's 4D chess? I just thought there was 4D chess at our company with the overlay because there was like a weird grammar splice. Dude, explain it to you. It reads WTF is TAO and why it's important, question mark. Now, because it's like a statement, like what the fuck is TAO, period. And then it's like, and so what I learned is that whenever you think there's 4D chess, there's not. And so when you have that own experience in my own life that I just witnessed, that there's no 4D chess, and then I see that Trump was dealt 7 deuce, you don't get a good feeling in your chest. And so I say all that to say, my friends, we're coming to a hedge. A head. Is it head? Coming to a hedge on the situation where we can't just keep doing this forever. Okay? We cannot just keep doing this forever. Okay? You don't just like push it off, taco, push it off. You can't just do it forever. We've been doing it for 4 weeks. It's almost been 4 weeks. Okay? On Saturday, it's 4 weeks we've been at this. And I'm getting pinged. Iran responded. We're going to read it. Let's read it. Calling threadguy. What do you got? No way. That's so funny. Sorry. All right, look. Okay, let me focus. I just got like a crazy I held this fucking I don't even want to talk about it, but I held this stupid ass CIA coin for like 6 months and it was 0 and the guy replied, I'm not gonna lie, I just stacked it. Someone tagged me and they said the right guy, look at FOMO. I just stacked it, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, GG. All right, let me lock in. I held it for 6 months, bro. I don't know. I'm getting pinged in Telegram. They're like, dude, held it for 6 months for a 20% gain. I had to, bro. I had to. I'm buying bonds. I don't even know. All right. Here you go. Iran responds. The one who once spoke of regime change and the fragmentation of Iran now hopes that someone in Iran will engage in dialogue with him. Though this, too, is merely an attempt at deception. The funniest thing about this, by the way, and I want to talk about this Trump manipulation segment. The funniest thing about this candle in particular, sorry, I'm like a little distracted. Sorry. I'm just. Oh, I held it for like 6 months, dude. I held it for 6 months. And I probably lost money on the split of the soul I paid for it. All right, let me focus. The thing that's so funny about this candle to me, this giant red candle, and then the wick, is the bottom wick is Trump saying, I'm talking to Iran. And then the recovery is Iran saying, no, we're not talking. And then it still settles down like 10%. It's actually just who's better, like who's louder on Twitter. Like I've never seen anything like this. It's actually just who is louder on Twitter. And so Iran keeps coming out and be like, no, we're not working together. And Trump's like, no, we're working. We're working together. We're working together. And Iran's like, no, we're working together. We're working together. Oil down. It's like, bro, how long can you do that for? It's like your homie like repeated your joke, but like really loud and really funny. But then he keeps doing it. And so then it's like you, okay, it's almost like this. It's almost like not only did your friend repeat your joke a lot louder and got some laughs, but it's like he created and built a comedy career just off repeating your jokes, and that's like all he does nonstop. And he's like a comedian now, and you just like, I don't know, I don't have a good analogy for it, but this is where we're at. The law of diminishing tacos, Chumbawamba. And then this was a separate topic. All right, do you want to talk about Trump manipulation? Should we just like get a little bit dark right now, guys? Should we talk about Trump manipulation? Or should we watch the Steve Jobs video that just dropped? I think we should talk about manipulation. We have to. I think we have to, right? If looks could kill. I really want to, maybe we'll save this video. I really want to watch this. Maybe we'll save it. What even is this Steve Jobs vid? Oil's going back up. Yeah, of course it's going back up because it was a fake headline, bro. Also, no, what do you mean it's going up? Oh my god. This is why I sold this shit. It's just like it was so tilting. I was driving myself crazy. Oil's going up, threadguy. Man. All right, let's talk about Trump manipulation. Fuck it. We'll skip. I wanted to watch this, but we can maybe save it for tomorrow.
You know, this.
I got a lot of dopamine from that interview we did today. All right, let's talk about Trump manipulation. Get back into G. We need you to sweat for the stream. Oil's going back up. No. I'm done. If you cared about my mental health, honestly, I was gonna. Not even if you cared about mental health. If you cared about making money, you just wouldn't long oil. You would just find it. If you actually cared about making money, you wouldn't long in here. You would just find a better expression of it. There's gonna be a sick trade, but you're gonna be too early. This is the thing. There's gonna be a sick oil trade that happens probably when the taco doesn't work anymore. That's when it is. And anything before that is too late. And by the time that happens, it's just like too scary to even be long oil. Did you miss yesterday? So I couldn't ask, but how was the bar on Friday? Lit, actually. I had a lit Friday night. I'll tell you about it at the end. All right, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to talk about Trump manipulation, then we're going to play Kahoot. We're going to play Kahoot. We're going to play Kahoot. All right, here we go. Okay, Citrini makes this tweet. And the tweet reads, I'm not going to lie, macro trading was more fun before the defining edge was whether you were in the inner circle of people who knew what the president was about to tweet. Not complaining. The market is the market, and there are plenty of ways to get in front of this. Monitoring the order book or prediction markets or whatever. Just saying it's kind of lame. I think that we just have to acknowledge this as the reality that we live in, because the market is the market. And we are just in a Trump headline market. I said this at the beginning of the stream. Maybe I just said this 5 minutes ago. I don't even remember anymore. If Trump says the sky is red, you have to just trade like the sky's red. You just do. It just is. It is what it is. And I think that this oil trade has like radicalized me a little bit, because I always thought the whole like, do you want to be right or do you want to make money thing was kind of a joke, because usually if you're right, you make money. And I've now realized that it's not that is just like how the world works, is that sometimes the two things are separate. And right now, the two things are just separate, dude. I don't know what else to say. We are trading a Trump headline market, and I've accepted that trying to play short and puts in a Trump admin is just asking to get blown up. It just is. It's asking to lose money, get stopped out. And so the only way I'm thinking about things right now is long or cash. Cash is short. And the other way that I'm thinking about this is that, okay, even before the Iran situation, we were in deep uncertainty in the market. SPY rounded top, doesn't look good. Citrini doom article, AI changing the world, but also like, can we keep the CapEx spend up? Is everybody tapped? Like, oh, this is not nuts. This headline is nuts. I need to save this. I'll cover this in a second. Thank you for sending this. We'll come back to this in a minute. Like, even before, I want to finish this take though and get to this segment. It's like, even before Iran war, we were in deep uncertainty. IPOs on the horizon. I don't know. Epstein files, fuck it, add that to the list. We were in deep uncertainty. And so it was really hard to position before this. And now during and after this, it is, dude, I just think it's impossible. Anyone that says they know and has a good read on where the market's going to be in 6 months, it's completely lying, because the global world order could change tomorrow. Like, no bullshit. Your positioning, if the US invades versus doesn't invade versus the taco doesn't work, like how this plays out and then how the next layer below it, the AI thing plays out, has deep implications on what the world looks like. And so I think buying, I watch these stock guys in the morning and everyone's like, they're so like cattle buy the dip coded. And if you really think about it, buy the dip is like kind of retarded. Buy the dip is so damaging to trader psychology, I think. And to tell people to just do it on autopilot is just so stupid. Buy the dip, buy the dip. It's like a tick. Price, buy the dip, price, buy the right kiddo, buy the dip, buy the dip. It's like, what does that even mean to buy the dip? And I just think it's the worst time ever to buy the dip and think that your long-term idea over this next year is like the best one. You might be right on a couple of them, but it's an uncertain market deeply. And so, yes, you get paid for being certain in an uncertain market, but the only way I'm trading right now, and whatever, what the fuck do I know? I'm just a fucking streamer, is I am cash and short trades. Short trades. Short trades, and I'm not swimming against Trump. I'm not swimming up speed against Trump. You're not doing it. You want to swim against the current, against Trump? Are you out of your fucking mind? You're going to long oil right now? Are you out of your fucking mind? I was so young and naive, and I got out of it in profit. And a lot of you did too, and it's impressive, honestly, if you got out of that thing in profit. But I round-tripped 2 other ones because it's like, no, there's just forces in the market that are more powerful than you. And you go for the grain, with the grain, and it's just got to be short-term. Like, I took the TAO long because it's like, okay, when's the last time fucking Jason... I know it's JCal, but like, when's the last time a non-crypto person that has money shilling crypto? Yeah, probably a decent spot. I'll take it. But I watch these stock guys in the morning and they're just spamming buy the dip. And I'm like, fuck, man. Really? That's the best you got? So no, I think it's a bad time to buy the dip. Again, crypto uniquely positioned for like a changing of world order and how to move this market. And so back to the I wanted to get that take off. Back to the Trump thing. Is it's gotten so blatant that it isn't a secret anymore, and we really have to just accept it for what it is. And in my opinion, get good at trading it. It's like, I know where we just got, it just sort of contradicts the taco discussion of diminishing taco returns, but at the end of the day, the guy can still taco words. You can't taco molecules. We know this. We'll see how it plays out. It'll probably inform a lot of what we do in the future based off how this war plays out. I feel like, by the way, the fact that we like pivoted to only talking about oil really made us a lot better. It did. It made us a lot sharper. But once we're done, we will be done with this at some point. And when we are done with it, the game to me is like, Trump says to buy, we buy. Bro, Trump said to sell before Liberation Day. He dead ass was like, I probably wouldn't be buying stocks right now. You fucking sold. And then he says, probably a good time to buy stocks. Tacos rips everything back up 20%. It's like, we could play that game. I could play that game. And so we have to just accept that this market doesn't care if you're right. It cares what Trump wants, and he's going to get what he wants. And traditional market dynamics are not at play here, at least as much as they normally are. So Stoic tweets, he kicked up, he's private. You think he'll get mad at me if I read this tweet? It's a good one, though. He picked up his presidency by launching a motherfucking shitcoin on Inauguration Day. And you guys are only now starting to code about the insider trading. Bro, Saudi Arabia bought half of the world liberty supply. What? Half. He bought half of the world liberty supply. Half. What are you talking about? What are we talking about, bro? You know, God forbid Barron Trump buy $1.5 billion of futures before a headline. And so it's just getting global. Financial Times. Traders made bets worth $500 million in the oil market about 15 minutes before Trump's post touting productive talks with Iran set the price of crude tumbling. Crazy article, bro. It's just getting hard. It's undeniable. I mean, it's undeniable at this point. Is Zhang's prediction on track? Its prediction's ground invasion. Yeah, it probably fucking is on track, actually. Crazy. This is just such a gnarly $580 million. $580 million, 15 minutes before. My gut from watching the market the last 25 years is really abnormal. It's crazy. $580 million. I mean, it's unreal, but it's happening. It's happening. Level of corruption in the Trump admin is beyond anything in most of the, yeah, it's happening. So this was crazy too. SEC Enforcement Director Margaret Ryan, who resigned last week, reportedly fought with agency bosses after calling for investigation into Trump family's misconduct. Can't fight it. You trade, have you heard the Russian-German oil trader that made $250 million in 30 months? Is it Cuddles? All right, I'm gonna I'll play this clip of my friend on Discord has this clip. I'm gonna play it though. I want to hear it.
The rub, and this is what this is the rub, and this is what everybody's secretly wondering. So who knew that Trump was going to call it off, and when did they know that? This is the problem, because Trump does this all the time, where he puts out something on Truth Social or something on TV or in a press pool, and as you know, it does affect the markets, and trillions of
when guys like this are talking about the markets, by the way, you know it's gotten
dollars
egregious.
Are made and lost on a whim, based on what he says, based on what he tweets. He controls the movement of all that wealth and all of that stuff. If you knew just 10 minutes before that post was going out, you could have made a lot of money. You could have placed a lot of big bets, and you could have made millions, billions, depending on what kind of capital you're working with. And so you got to wonder, if you knew that that announcement was coming on Saturday, and if you knew that that announcement was coming on Monday, based on conversations with the president, or you knew some other way, you could have made a fortune shorting everything on Saturday and then making money on Monday. You could have made a small fortune. And as people have reported, many people have. Many people did put in some very conspicuous positions on Saturday and on Monday and did make a lot of money. And you wonder how much prior knowledge they had. Is the government making moves like this? Are government personnel making moves like this? Because if so, then this is the most corrupt administration in history. And I don't think that's, again, that other stuff, fine and well. You could
Just gonna say it's a tough way to learn about markets. This is a tough way to get introduced to markets.
say that
Crypto people are like, yeah, I've been getting destroyed for years, but this is a tough way to learn about markets.
that is within your purview as the president of the United States. You want to confuse the enemy. You want to reassure the markets. But if every post that goes out concerning tariffs, concerning trade, war with Russia, war with Iran, if all of that is known in advance by advisors and leaked to other people, well, there could be a lot of cronies that are being enriched by that True Social account. And that's not okay. That's like Banana Republic, Soviet levels of corruption. And that's the part I don't like. That every weekend since the war started, this is how the U.S. and Trump in particular are prosecuting the war. It's a confidence game. It's a confidence game between the U.S. and Iran. It's a confidence game in the markets, in the U.S. market. And this is why Trump does the most provocative, destabilizing things during the weekend, and I think tends to exercise more restraint during the week. Because he knows that a vital aspect of this attritional war is that reassurance and making sure that the economy doesn't completely melt down in the early stages of the war. And like I said, I think that's just undeniable.
Yep. They're finally catching on. There's implications. I don't know what they are. Somebody smarter than me could tell me what happens from this, but they're learning what we learned a long time ago. We learned this a long time ago in the great education that is cryptocurrency. One day you will look back and thank all the pain and the misery that crypto brought you because it gave you the greatest education you could ever ask for in the history of the world. It's that the world at the highest level is fucking corrupt, and the market is against you at all times. It's against you, and you have to navigate it, bro. You just navigate it. We play with what we have. That's all you have. It's like sometimes the rules are so broken you don't play, but we play with what we have. So here's one more tweet on this. I've traded the futures market for 5 decades. There is zero doubt in my mind that Trump money was behind this buying. There is no law that prevents the Trump machine from manipulating futures markets. Insider trading is legal. Trump family fortune grew today. Trump is playing the markets like a fiddle. Peter Brandt, legendary trader. Read about him in the Unknown Market Wizards. TA guy only. Final from the guy who's negotiating, I believe, on the behalf of Iran. Tweets, we are aware of what is happening in the paper oil market, including firms hired to influence oil futures. What? We also see the broader campaign. But let's see if they can turn that into actual fuel at the pump or maybe even print gas molecules. That is insane coming from official Iranian comms account. What are we talking about? What do you mean we are aware of what's happening in the paper? What are you aware of? What exactly are you aware of? And so the reason this was so frustrating is that I think oil should be higher. I think it should be a lot higher. But you got to understand who your counterparty is always. And when your counterparty is Scott Bessent, and he really doesn't want you to fucking make money, you're not going to make money on it, bro. I don't know. I'm not going to, like, the manipulation shit isn't that fun because it's like Christopher Eppinger. Basically, my take on it is actually not the manipulation thing, but it's just like not a trade you could take. If you really believe that oil should be higher, and all the commentary from everywhere are these fake taco headlines and it's being manipulated, it's just like not, the RR just is bad. It's bad. I'm almost surprised we squeaked out the way that we squeaked out because I was screaming the whole way up. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. But I didn't sell. And P4 posted. Let's play a song real quick. Did he post? Is it good? Let's play a song real quick. Let's warm him up. What did he post? Ah, fuck. Deleted it. Naysayers, please apologize to me and Tina. Thanks. U.S. Secretary confirmed in an interview today. We listened to this yesterday. I didn't think that's what he confirmed. Enjoy your hooping. In an interview today, the U.S. has been selling short-term oil contracts, arbitraging long-term contract earned 20% yield on the SPR release, which happened to start today. I saw the press. I didn't think that's exactly what he said, that they were doing that. This is like, yeah, this is a bad small cap scientist. No. This is like not true. This is not how it works. He's saying we'll put back in 1.2 barrels to everyone. He's not saying we're selling the ARP. This is bad. That's why I deleted it. This is wrong. Yeah. That's why I deleted it. Damn.
Hey, yo.
Sorry. I'm sorry, bruh. All right, I'm gonna play a clip for you. Let's fucking play some Kahoot. How about that? Breaking. Threadguy reveals he can't stop talking to girls and trading terminology. I always find myself like explaining order books to girls. It's pretty fucked, dude. I just have this bit where my brain is so fried I just talk in trades to girls. Except it's not a bit. I literally can't stop myself. I'll talk about order books. What does that mean? Talk about GTO. What does that mean? She'll be like, what do you think I should do? And I'll be like, well, I think the GTO strategy is here. What does that mean? Like, fuck. Okay, you know when you're on the river and you have a straight draw? What's a straight draw? Like, you know when you're playing? Let's watch it real quick. And then we'll play
order
Kahoot.
books to girls. It's pretty fucking fucked, dude. I have this bit where I just like talk and my brain is so fried. I just talk in trades to girls, like all the time. I say GTO to a girl. What does that mean? I talk about order books. What does that mean? What does GTO mean? I don't think it's a bit. No, I can't snap out of it. So she's like, what do you think I should do? And I'm like, well, I think the GTO strategy here. What does that mean? Fuck. Okay, so you know when you're playing poker, and how do you play poker? Like, you know when you're on the river and you have a straight draw? What's a straight draw? I'm like, fuck. Do you know anything about poker? No? Fuck. All right. And everyone's like, threadguy. And I'm like, fuck. I like laugh. Take a sip, finish my drink, just chug my drink. I always find myself like explaining order books to girls. It's pretty. That was awesome. That was so good. Threadguy. Like, ha ha ha. He's so out of touch. I'm like, ah. Like, sit in the corner all like depressed. Oh, he's so out of touch. Ha ha ha. All right. Let's play Kahoot. Let's play Kahoot. Let's play Kahoot. Let's play Kahoot. How do we play? Threadguy's GCC quiz. Host live. Wait, let's play Kahoot. Start. Let's play Kahoot! Hey, if somebody wins, I give you like a soul or something. I don't know. How much should I give? Go! Why is it so quiet? All right. Whoever wins, I'll give you like, how much should I give? Wait. What should I give the winner? What should I give the winner? 1 TAO. What should I give the winner? All right. I'll give you 2 barrels of crude oil. Whoever wins. 2 barrels of crude oil. Use your name so I know. 2 barrels of crude. If you post some dumb shit, I get banned on Twitch. I'm gonna be so mad, bro. Let's go, baby! Let's go! Wow, let's fucking go! I'm in. Let's go, man! Give you a couple minutes. 2 barrels of crude, whoever wins. It's like Middle East GeoGuessr. I don't know what's in it. 2 barrels of crude and 1 barrel of Brent to second place. How much time do y'all need? You also play, is anyone still in school? You'll play Kahoot in school? It caps at 100.
right, I think we gotta go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ah! Love this shit. Let's go. Fuck! Nobody cheat! I can't let people are gonna claud it. I'm skipping in 5, 3, 2, 1. Ah! How many questions are there? People are gonna cheat, bro. What? Rasmer? Rasmer got the fucking answers, bro. Fine. What body of water? Oh, fuck my life. Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh god. Oh god. Oh no. Oh no. No, no, no. No. Dude, what the Stupid, stupid, stupid. I thought it was a trick question. I had to be first on this. This was so easy. Dude, who? No! Who said it? Who said it? Who said it? Who said it? Who fucking said it? No, no. Hey, I'll give a barrel of crude to whoever doxes as green. Just do it. Just say it. Who did it? Come on. Come on. Just say it. Who said it? Who fucking? This was my words. I used to hate this about Kahoot, by the way. There'd be one person like picked yellow, and they'd be like, "Who did it?" And I'd be like, "Fuck, it was me. It was me." It's like the easiest question ever. Bro, how's Rasmer first? I'm 53 points behind Jackson Ray, who also got the second question wrong. I know that because I got it wrong. Fuck my life. Dude, are you fucking kidding me? Rasmer's actually cheating, bro. Oh. I was first. I was obviously first. I had to be first. Dude, how? Bro, Tulip Kid can't fucking win. I'm on a work call taking this stupid quiz. If anyone gets this wrong, you're banned. Do not get this wrong. I know this. I'm a threadguy stream viewer. "25th place. I'm fucking cooking. How many more? How many more? How many more? How many more? I don't know how many more this I can do. Like 10 more. If you get this wrong, I'm done. Dude, you made it too difficult. What? No, this is bullshit. We said 20. We said I've been saying 20. All right, that's fine, I guess. 17th place behind Caleb. How's he ahead of me? Oh! Get fucked, Rasmer. Which? All right, I'm locked in. I'm fucking locked in. I'm locked the fuck in now. Viblet, don't fucking get this wrong. Do not get this wrong. Bro, what do you mean yellow? You can't... I'm gonna tell you a story about trivia at the end of this. Bored. I'm in 12th place. Let's fucking go, bro. Oh, do I low-key have edge because I can see? I don't have a delay. I'm 25 years old doing this shit holy. I have edge, actually. Wow, I have fucking edge. I can see it like 5 seconds early. Get fucked. Right guy playing this with the dates. 8th place! 8th place! Oh, fuck, Mike. Top features are all insiders. Sixth place! How many more questions? A couple more, a couple more, a couple more. Nah, they're typing wrong answers in the chat. Please, threadguy, please, threadguy, please, threadguy, please, threadguy, please, threadguy. Ah! I didn't even drop. Bro, you guys can't win. Why are you playing? This is actually whack. You guys can't. You fucking made the questions. Nah, you can't answer the next two. You actually can't answer the next two. You fucking made the questions. You can't answer the next two. I'm not trolling. I'm not trolling. Somebody has to win. You can't win. Actually, you can't. You have to stop. You actually you made the questions. Hey, actually, no. Actually, we're simulating the real trading environment. We're simulating a real trading environment. Okay? This is what we just talked about. This is a Trump admin in a real trading environment. Malcolm, Tulip King, answer. We're simulating a real trading environment. Ah! No, let me answer. Ah! Fuck! I deserve nothing. Fuck my life. Fuck me. Cryptocurrency backed by oil. Oh wait, I think the question was wrong. I'm gonna win on a wrong question. Okay, so remember when I told you that if Trump says the sky's red, the sky's fucking red? Welcome. I think it's the last question. Is this the last question? No, there's 3 more. Dude, in Miles is so fucking whack. No. Fuck this. No. Fuck this shit. Dude, it's Google says 21 to 24 miles. Are you fucking kidding me? What? It says 21 to 24 miles. Bro. Nah. I mean, like, I got it right, but, like, that's so unfair, bruh. Nah. Who approved that? 2 more questions. I don't know what this means. The Cabal top 3. We're simulating a real trading environment. I'm just fucking. I didn't know. I didn't know. My God. Last question. This is so whack. It's obviously false, right? It's almost. Oh, man. Did my teeth look hella white? Did we edit this picture? I got it wrong. Finn! Finn, where you at? Is that... I don't know. It says Finn Clancy, and this says Finn C. Does that count? Does that count? He didn't use the same name. He didn't use the same name, bro. He didn't use the same name. Okay! What do you mean from Rasmer's chat? This threadguy's chat. This is the pit. I joined last minute from Rasmer's chat. Like Rasmer was on stream and showed this. Dude. Stop. What? Guys. Bro's watching our... All right, first person to say they were Finn C and Kahoo auto wins. Who? Let's see the whole... Okay, what did I say? 2 barrels of crude? Fuck this, dude. We gotta do this again. I should have had eyes on this shit. 2 barrels of crude is how much? 100 and... Who was in 4th place? You get a barrel of Brent. Can I check? Oh, this turned out to be a lot of very difficult, huh? Was I in 4th? No, I'm 5th. Who's 4th? Malcolm, you fucking guys. All right, Finn C. Hey, send me a soul wallet, Finn C. Or something. Send me something. Whatever. You get 100 and... Wow, this is more than I thought. 192.40. 192.40. 192.40. But it's fucking... Hey! The only way you can claim is if you send me a screenshot of unfollowing Rasmer on Twitter and you can claim. A screenshot of unfollow on Twitter and you can claim. $192.43. All right, last thing. Wow, we're way over the quota. Last thing I'm going to tell you, I want to tell you a story real quick. Is anyone here, any reseller kids here, remember the OG Words with Friends online trivia games? Do you remember this? Yes or no? Does anyone know what I'm talking about? Okay. I was in sneaker scene for like 2 years and I made no money. And the first time I started making money, I was in paid trivia groups. And every night there would be Words with Friends. And then what was the other one called? The other one was called... What was the other one called? The huge one. The huge one.
Everyone knew. AOL. Come on. No, it like changed the world. It changed the world. Like it was the first live trivia that paid money. Come on, guys. No, not trivia crack. Come on, guys. Jeopardy. HQ trivia. Jeez, man. Fuck. HQ trivia. And so there was like a 6-month period where there was Edge. And I was in a paid, I don't know, who said who wants to be a millionaire? Are you fucking kidding me? There was a 6-month period where there was Edge because nobody was playing. And so if you J Cal, come fuck with me. Hey, I didn't say you saying BTC over TAO was like punching my grandma. I didn't say it. Come rock with me, J Cal. You, me, Twitch, TAO, all in podcast invite, be movie. Wow, that's sick. Shout out to Jason Calacanis. Actually, shout out. That's sick. Let's go, bro. I think it's sick follow. I would love to get him on stream. I wonder where he saw it from. Oh! 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 Okay. Threadguy thinks Jason Calacanis did the TAO and the ball was for Zcash. You never want to be a guy that's responsible for the thing going up. You just, oh, it's like a bad clip, Jack. Fuck, man. It's like a bad clip. Fuck, dude. Fuck, Jack. What the fuck? You never want to be the guy responsible for the thing going up. You just don't. But someone always says Jason decides he's going to be the guy for TAO. That's enough for me. The thing about crypto is the narrative driven by a couple hundred people. You don't want to have earnings report. Let's have to fall back because the whole thing is a narrative game. I'm not the guy for TAO. The people building the subnets and the customers, the attack are the guys. I bet on things that are extremely speculative and lose money, and 8% of startups we invested. I also bet to learn often, which means after some cursory investigation into technology, I'll make a series of bets that drag us deep in the rabbit hole. TAO is exactly that kind of bet. Sick. Sick. Money. Let's fucking go. By the way, Jack, the mute was temporary. There's one too many Logan Paul clips. That was temporary. It 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 was temporary. Anyways, what I was saying. What I was saying. What I was saying is. What? It's temporary. What I was saying is there was like a 3-month spread where three-month spread where nobody was playing trivia and trivia was giving out a lot of money. Like a lot of money every day, like 6 figures every day. And so there was trivia groups. I was in a trivia group where they had paid trivia mods that would basically be in there during trivia night.
in the Discord, and everyone would be in voice, and the question would pop up, and you have 10 seconds, and all the mods would be like 4, 4, 4, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, 4, 4, 4, 4, and they're all at the very end 4, 4, 4, 4, and you'd fucking get it right. And if you made it to the very end, you would make, I don't know, $30 a night, $40 a night. Consistently, 40 a night, consistently, every night. And it was the first time I ever made money. I used to run upstairs and be like, Mom, I made 40. 40? Yeah, 40. Tonight is 40. And it was every night for a while. And it was sick. It was fucking sick. And that's how I got started in the trading game. Trivia. Competitive trivia. I would love to get one of these trivia mods back on. My mom used to be so proud, dude. She'd be like, 0.4 barrels of crude? Nah, she'd be hype. I would show my mom the profit, and she like couldn't believe it. She's like, no way, you made 40 today? You could do that in like 2 hours of a job. You spent 6 hours on this. No, she was very supportive of my trivia career. My mom rocks. She rocks. Watch Orangey's last vid. I don't want to do that right now. I really don't. Dan W Mommy, she watches every stream. She watches every stream. She knows about Viblet. Did you watch the Fuentes clip? I don't know who that is. They said she wanted to do a deal with Vance, not Trump. That's hilarious if true. What does that even mean? Dude, the Jason stream would be so sick. Also, is this hilarious? Was this bad? Do I got bringing on cons about TAO? Not only is the founder is going to go down in history. I think we have the best guy to talk about TAO. Oh, it's really funny. Oh, thanks, man. Oh, nice. God, Kai XPT's on a run. Another guy with the sauce is pee pee poo poo. Christopher Eppinger. We'll look at this tomorrow. Sick. Well, look, guys, what a stream, huh? I feel like, man, even when shit is just boring, there's not much happening, we just like figure it out. Cool. There's one interesting trade. We're in it. There's one cool guy to talk to. We're talking to him. There's one story in geopolitics. We understand it. Yo, W Day Bros. Look, you having a bad day. The stream made it better. I love you, G. I hope your day gets better, Spoon. I missed the first half. Can you start over, please? I plan my entire day around you being here, and you just disrespect my time, Small Pepe. It's like, it's a disgrace. I plan my whole day around you being here. And you just disgrace my time. What the fuck is that, huh? I love you. I appreciate you. I'm out. Have a great rest of your day. I love you. 3:30 p.m. See you tomorrow. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Oh, also, if anyone's still here that doesn't know who I am from like the TAO stuff or whatever, here's how you can find me. I have this Telegram. Yeah, I'm not supposed to chill up, but Small Pepe wants to be late, so I'll add more people to the Telegram. Fuck it. I type in there all day. I'm active. No, it's like you don't want me to type in there, but you want to be late. I'll add more people. Fuck it. I love you. I appreciate y'all. Peace.